Space, humanity's last horizon. These are the records and expeditions of the Federation starship Lovelace. Assigned an ongoing galactic charter, the intrepid crew of the Lovelace explores the excitement of strange new worlds, encounters new life forms and new civilizations, and ultimately seeks to boldly go where no one has gone before.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Star Trek Adventures Loveless. My name is Nicotine. I'm joined today by some fantastic members of the cast here at Fable Scraps. If you're new to the stream, welcome. If you're listening to us on podcasting apps such as Spotify or Stitcher, know that we record this show live every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific, at 6 p.m. Eastern, here at twitch.tv/FableScraps. Our live audience here has the benefit, the ability to affect the show in meaningful ways through the clever deployment of funds in exchange for threat and momentum. Threat is a pool of points that I, the DM, may use in order to introduce complications or problems for the crew to solve. Momentum is a pool of points that the crew may collectively use in order to re-roll or gain information about a certain scene, etc. If you'd like to know more, !coin in chat will tell you everything you need to know. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, where you can get going live notifications and interact with all of our lovely people who do fan art and all kinds of stuff there. We also have a Discord at fablescraps.com/Discord for you to be able to interact with other members of the community and talk about tabletop roleplay, share art, and we have someone making a kit-bashed miniatures collection of our Doomlore characters, which is phenomenal. So yeah, if you want to take a look at that or hang out with other TTRPG friends, hit up fablescraps.com/Discord. We're gonna go through and give everyone a round of little shout outs here. If everyone sounds good, I'd like to see some numbers in chat. We'll start with Fist of the Walrus. If Fist sounds good, let's see some ones. Hi, Fist.
Hello. It's good to be here. Finally got my captain's uniform all spiffy and ready to go. My name is Fist of the Walrus. Thank you. My name is Fist of the Walrus. I'm a variety streamer and role player here on Twitch. And you can catch me over at Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at Fist of the Walrus. Looking forward to today's episode.
Awesome, me too. If this sounds good, let's see some ones. Let's head over to Locke the Raven. If Locke sounds good, let's see some twos. Hi, Locke.
Hi, Nikki. I'm Locke the Raven. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. You may have seen me on Fable Scraps' other show, Doomlore, a 40k story, on Fridays. And you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Locke the Raven, spelled like it sounds.
Awesome. Thank you, Locke. Next up is Aaron Black. If Aaron sounds good, let's see some threes in chat.
Hi, everybody. My name is Aaron Black. I'm a writer and author of the book Firewall Down, a cyberpunk detective mystery novel. If you don't know more about that, you can find me over on Twitter under Aaron B. Writes.
Perfect. Thank you, Aaron. Let's move over to Enovan. If Enovan sounds good, let's see some fours.
Hello there, I'm Enovan, a variety here on Twitch. Typically I stream relaxing games and some roleplay games as well. You can find me at twitch.tv/Enovan, that's ENEVUN.
Perfect. My name, of course, is Nicotine. I'm a role player here on twitch.tv. You can see my stuff at twitch.tv/Nicotine, Nikatine. I also write the show here at Fable Scraps for Star Trek Adventures Loveless. If I sound good, let's see some fives. And I think with that, are we ready?
Believe so.
Okay, here we go. Take it away.
Captain's log. Stardate 4544511.3. The Lovelace is currently en route to a diplomatic summit and remedial security training on Vulcan. The crew can tell this appears to be a mission of low importance and has been looking for any excuse not to attend.
Captain Lockstead, you are in your quarters. You are trying your best to avoid the rest of the crew who does not want to go to the remedial security training that you are currently en route to. It is becoming increasingly difficult to avoid your fellow crewmates. What are you doing to hide from everyone?
I'm in the Jeffries tubes,
Yeah, okay.
and I'm slunked away in like what I believe to be a very private quarter. I'm just kind of waiting it out.
You're just hiding in the Jeffries tubes. There are engineering teams that sort of scout the Jeffries tubes for issues every now and then, and you can hear them from quite a ways away since they're sort of loud and clunky and bringing a lot of engineering tools with them. You hear one such team now, and they're sort of chatting loudly about how much they don't want to go to this remedial security training. It's Ensign Salixon and Ensign Gregory. I can't believe they're making us go to this thing. I'm gonna fail. I know I am. I really hate it. Hello?
I would like to see if I can remain hidden and then... Is there like something on the ground nearby that maybe I can like chuck to a different corner?
Make me a roll. I don't even... Let me see what kind of roll this will be. Wow, this is gonna be a... You know, I think I'm gonna call this a daring and command roll. This is a daring command roll with a complication of 2, task roll of 2. Go ahead and make me that roll.
Let's see what we got.
I can't. This is a critical success. As a matter of fact, Captain Lockstead, you notice that you see at your feet a small hyperspanner that has been left in this Jeffries tube for an indeterminate amount of time. You can pick it up and you can toss it to distract the ensigns, but it won't distract them for long.
I actually want to aim for Gregory's head with the intent of knocking him out.
Oh my god.
Just so... No, that's not what I want to do. No, I'll do that just so I can run and find another hiding spot.
Into Gregory's head, or?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm not going to throw... I had to rethink that one.
With his critical success, he should throw the spanner and end up fixing something with where it lands. Just
Yeah. Dude, can I throw it and, like, it perfectly, like, tightens a bolt as it, like, flings through the air?
just hangs off a loose bulkhead thing.
You have thrown the hyperspanner, and it has landed directly into a... along the Jeffries tubes, there are holders for tools that are meant to be sort of stationary, just places where there are always just minor pieces of equipment so that you don't have to go back and forth to main engineering to grab your tools. You've thrown the hyperspanner directly into one of these holsters for a hyperspanner, and it's there. It's made enough noise to alert Ensign Gregory and Ensign Salixon to your presence. But they don't know it's you yet.
Crap.
They're currently looking in a different direction. You may run if you choose to do so.
Yeah. At that point, yes, I would like to run.
Sure.
Is Lockstead like butt naked, just having a freak out in the?
Are you in full uniform in the Jeffries too?
Yeah, I just don't want... Like, I wanted peace, and, like, I'm assuming everybody's been bugging me, and, like, they won't leave me alone. I just want, like, a couple minutes of peace. It'd be easier to just run away than to explain why I'm sulking in the Jeffries tubes.
What were you doing in that Jeffrey's tube? Just hiding? Did you have any? Were you reading a book, or like, were you doing any kind of activity there? Was it just to hide?
Just a nest.
Just a nest.
I think I was like, honestly, to nap probably.
Just a little nap. Okay.
Yeah.
It was difficult to nap. You kept waking up to the sound of children laughing. You thought you could hear it, but it's sort of, maybe you didn't. It's could have just been the warp coils. You're not certain.
The laughing children warp coils.
We move now to the cafeteria, where Lieutenant Commander Belmont and Commander Herrick are engaging in a Vulcan game. Which Vulcan game are you playing? Do either of you
boy.
have a preference?
I mean, I have to assume that
Would this be-
if Herrick is playing with me,
Mhm.
was it his choice? Or did I just plop down in front of him with a game and said, let's do this?
Even Herrick believes in re-establishing a sense of logic through recreational logical activity.
Okay, so
Herrick
I'll-
is also reading a pad from one of his security patrols about how the captain is in the Jeffries tube again.
Again.
Do you Locke? Do you want to choose the game? Because there's a couple different ones.
Calto is
Oh
the...
no! If Belmont's bringing the game, you go ahead and pick.
You know what? I'm actually going to put down checkers, something I have read into, and I replicated it, and currently playing checkers.
You're playing checkers with Commander Herrick. Okay,
Yeah,
certainly.
And I think at this point, I probably would have run through the basic rules as I understand them. And Herrick, so you moved yours there. That means I have to jump it. I have no choice. I have to jump it, and then I'll do that, and then take the piece. But now my piece is probably surrounded by, or next to one of his, and said, okay, so now you have to take that one.
I have to take it.
Yeah, that's one of the rules. Like I said, when the two pieces are together, whoever's turn it is, if you can jump, you have to take it.
Herrick will just tap on the pad a little bit and send a message to security to just let the captain be alone up there for a while. And then he'll just... What's that?
Your security readouts have been blaring that the captain's location is currently in the Jeffries tubes, which is unusual for your reports. And you're sure that the rest of your security team has been getting these updates as well.
Mm-hmm. He's just going to just... Let him have it. And then he'll just sort of tentatively pick up the checker and then just
Commander
pop
Herrick,
it.
you may give me a roll, we'll call it a reason and I don't even know, security roll, a reason and security roll, with a complication of
Okay.
1 since this is checkers, and a task roll of 2. Go ahead and roll that for me.
I may have forgotten how to roll the dice. Oh, there we go.
Wow. So you have this game almost evenly matched. You're losing pieces. You suspect that it's because your attention has been divided between your security readouts and your game of checkers with the human, Lieutenant Commander Belmont, who is no doubt an expert at this particular activity.
I've been reading up on it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a combination of apathy and doing his work at the same time.
Yeah, I think at this point I'm just sort of looking down at the board and trying to plan my future moves.
Herrick's playstyle suggests that he feels that maybe the sooner he loses, the sooner Belmont will leave him alone with it.
Oh God, because I'm really intense in this game. I think I'm trying to set it up because I did read about double jumping, so I'm trying to set it up to get him into a position to double jump. I don't know if what he just did put me in that position, but that's what I was trying to do.
The Checkers episode, only on Loveless.
Commander Herrick, your security readout for the day, your debriefing for every morning, your security brief, also includes a subsection about Cargo Bay 2, which you know to be the newest addition to the Lovelace's crew. Ada, you know to be Ada's quarters. There's been some discrepancies as far as data received from any sensors at Cargo Bay 2, and you have not seen Ada for any kind of ship's counselor reasons, but you know that Lieutenant Commander Belmont has. You may ask Lieutenant Commander Belmont if you feel it is pertinent, if there has been anything unusual in Cargo Bay 2.
How are your sessions with the ship's counselor going, Lieutenant Commander?
Not bad, not bad. I don't really have anything to compare it to, but I think as a counselor, I think Ada knows what she's doing. She's definitely called me out on a few things. And it took me a minute to agree to it, but yeah, I think they're going quite well. Thank you for asking.
Eric will give him a, and then double jump to his pieces.
Oh.
I won't make you roll for it. That's a Vulcan thing. You can just... Sure.
I didn't tell you that on purpose.
Herrick's very annoyed that their level of pieces, he seems to not be losing more pieces than Belmont is, though.
Yeah, that was a good move. That was a good move. I'm in a pickle. Oh, look at that. So now that it's on this place, we get to you get to be a king, and I'm gonna grab one of the pieces and put it on top and say, now this piece can go backwards and forward instead of just one direction. So now you have that.
Commander Herrick, it irks you that the security feed from Cargo Bay 2 has been constantly ineffective. You have no vision of Cargo Bay 2 whatsoever. In fact, sensors see it as a void. You would probably want to know from the main engineer why this is, and if there was a way to correct it, but you don't have to press him if you don't want to.
Well, I don't have to, but God keeps telling me I probably should ask about something. So Herrick will continue fiddling around on his pad, and then he'll slide it around and push it over to Belmont. And have you had a chance to inspect the security feeds for Cargo Bay 2?
Have I? Do I know about this? Am I aware?
You would see Cargo Bay 2 as kind of a private area. It's a habitat for Ada's life form. You would see it as private. You certainly wouldn't have ever accessed any security logs of it. It's sort of like spying on someone's bedroom.
Yeah, then that's what I'd be like. Well, yeah, this is her living space. I don't have a camera in my area, so I mean that.
But even sensors are unable to penetrate it.
Have you been trying to penetrate the space?
A dead zone on this vessel is unacceptable.
Well, I can look into it, but I'd like to talk to Ada about it before, I mean, we're all sort of expected some level of privacy here.
That is correct, but when it involves an entire cargo bay, which, while inhabited, is from an otherwise unknown entity, it does raise a few security concerns.
Yeah, I can understand that and agree with that. It might be best to probably just make sure with the captain beforehand. But yeah, I don't see a reason not to look at the sensors in that area. I'll get.
Lieutenant Commander, perhaps you have misunderstood me. I wish to know why they are malfunctioning, not for you to relay a feed to me.
Oh, you just want to know I can look at the technical reason. That's not that difficult at all. And then I would probably contact who was in the Jeffries tube. It was Gregory and Salixon.
You're not entirely sure. You're off duty. You're probably, you would assume it'd be Ensign Gregory or Ensign Salixon, but if you do decide to contact them, they'll probably be available. We move now
Herrick.
to. Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, one more thing from Herrick.
Herrick deciding that he should better go to security for some reason, looks at Belmont. Lieutenant Commander, thank you for the game. However, I will abdicate the throne. And then gets up.
Oh, you were winning. Oh. All right.
We move now to
King of Checkers.
Lieutenant Ram. Lieutenant Ram, you are not at the helm. You are not in the cafeteria. You are in your quarters, also known as the isolinear routing matrix, the brains of the ship, where the ship's main computer's mainframe is stored. All of the processing power that the ship's main computer uses basically comes from your bedroom. You don't need to sleep. You don't need to eat. You don't need to adhere to any biological law, as you are the ship's artificial crewman. A testament to modern science. You are currently caring for several new plants, which you acquired back at Breaka. They are living this time and require much more tender care. You are watering them now.
Computer? Is it normal for plants to be drooping this much?
Checking. No.
Yeah, none of our previous ones have done this. I keep adding water as we have done before, but it just doesn't seem to be improving.
The biological necessities of the plants from Breaka 3's moon are unknown at this time.
Right. Do you think this might just be part of their natural blooming cycle? Maybe they droop and then they bloom?
Potentially.
We'll keep as is for now and then see if there's any changes.
Affirmative. Why do you care for these plants, Ram?
Why wouldn't I? They're a marvel of nature. To think they grew from just a tiny seed to this beautiful being.
What relevance does this hold for you?
I'd like to think that it holds quite a lot of relevance. Whilst I'm not organic myself, I like to think I share fairly few similarities. You know, started from just a simple microchip and then grew to what I am now.
Elaborate.
Well, while the way that we got to being is different, I constructed them growing naturally. I like to think that the end result is the same. Both beings trying to get our way through the universe.
I will be noting this in your file.
Right. Is that... yep, that's fine. Oh, computer, could you do one more thing for me?
Of course.
Could you ensure that we're still on course to our destination? I want to make sure no one has, like, altered our trajectory. I've heard there's been a little bit of, discomfort from people about where we're going, or what we're doing.
Do you not experience the same discomfort?
Not so. It's needing to be done, therefore it shall be done.
This also will be going in your record. Course is laid in. At that very
At that very moment, the captain of the USS Lovelace falls through your ceiling through a vent.
Oh, jeez.
Captain?
Oh, yes. Hello, Ram. Everything looks good in here, yes? Proper.
Are you all right?
Yes, fine. Excellent. I was not hiding in the Jeffries tubes. Why would you ask such a silly question?
I didn't.
You didn't.
Yes. So I am?
As you were. What?
Okay,
Is a
Captain. Nah,
is a question?
I'm
Are you
just wondering why you're
perplexed?
up
There's
there, but
nothing. I wasn't
don't
up
want
there.
To question
I
you,
was.
Captain. If you've got a reason, I'm sure you have a good reason.
Look, I just wanted some peace and quiet. That's all. I've been hearing nothing but complaining about this event, and I tried to go in my ready room, but they know where it is, and I was constantly bombarded by annoying questions from the crew, and I had to escape. And the Jeffries tubes was the only place I could think of. Evidently, it was not a very secure location. I just wanted to sleep. I haven't slept in a long time.
Well, if it's any comfort, they haven't gotten so annoyed that they have mutinied yet, though we are still on course. No one has taken over the bridge. Looking on the bright side of things.
That would be a very worst case scenario indeed. Yes, but it's a good thing that hasn't happened.
It shows that they aren't that annoyed.
No, it's just the pestering that gets me, and I have gone far too long without sleep. I just want a little nap, just a quick little nap. That's all I ask.
Captain, you notice Lieutenant Ram is watering the plants. You find this amusing that your robot is watering plants. You think you probably could have found a much less resource-intensive robot to water plants for you, but you think it's cute that Lieutenant Ram wants to do that. You also notice that they are dying.
Huh.
You have the same plants in your quarters.
Do you think you might be overwatering those plants just a tad? They don't seem to be doing very well, Ram.
Overwatering? I thought plants needed water.
Yes, they need a certain amount of water, and if you give them too much, it might drown them, effectively.
Well, I've been giving the same amount to my other plants. Ram would gesture towards the fake plants.
Captain Locke said you know that those are fake. You also know that, given your medical background, there are specific minerals that you may add to the water in order to help this particular plant grow, given that you've done the exact same procedure to the plants in your room and they are flourishing.
I see. Well, I have a suggestion, actually. Maybe I could show you this compound that I use for my plants, and that might actually help sprucing them up a little. Here, let me actually send ingredients over to you, and you can yourself benefit from this, seeing as your plants are in need of a little pick-me-up.
Right. But how much water do I give? I've been told that if I don't water them, then they die. And now you're telling me that if I overwater them, then they also will die. At what point do they reach the death mark within water?
It depends on the plant, but for your particular plants, moderation is key. I've sent over my regimen for my plants over to your data pad, and also a compound that might help with the wilting of your plants. See if that doesn't fix it.
There's a replicator in the isolinear routing matrix. You could replicate some immediately, Lieutenant Ram.
Yeah, Ram would do that. Send over straight to the replicator.
Sure. You walk over to the replicator and use it. The replicator is instantly a light. It has the same little replication noise as the transporter, and you have yourself some brand new plant feed. And you finish watering your stuff. Captain Lockstead, what's on the agenda?
Well, seeing as I've fallen through the Jeffries tubes, I need somebody to get that prepared. And back to the brig to see our heading and if we have arrived, or when we will arrive to the event.
Lieutenant Ram, you, given your magnetic feet, are capable of just reattaching that vent hood straight up to the ceiling just by walking up to it if you'd like.
Yeah. Captain,
Yes, Ram?
do you wish for me to repair it, or do you want it left like that?
Oh, you know, actually, I keep forgetting that you actually have magnetic feet. By all means, if you could close that. I can't reach it.
Right. Sure thing. And do you need anything else? Do you need a place to sleep? I don't really have much of bedding in this area, but it's private. Not many people come through here.
It's all right. I've come to terms with my situation. I'm going to take a quick cat nap in the bridge after I've seen our heading. You just take care of that, and I'll be there.
Right. Will do, Captain.
Captain,
Yes, computer.
incoming hail. It is marked as high priority. It is also heavily encrypted.
Well, off to the
Also,
bridge then.
The heading reads for Captain's eyes only. Would you like me to send it to the isolinear routing matrix?
One moment. Ram, I need to take this. Instead, I'll be in my ready room and see what this is all about.
Patching it through to the ready room.
Very well. See you then.
See you then. Make sure you get at least a little bit of sleep. I hear that's an important thing.
Yes. A little. Go on.
The door's over there.
Oh, sorry. I was Captain stepping into like a closet or something.
Captain, you make your
yes.
way through the turbo lift back towards the ready room of the bridge. You open your doors. You open your doors. There you go. Twice. And sit at your desk. Your view screen sits atop your desk. It is blinking in a very odd way. You've only seen this maybe a handful of times, and it is extremely rare that a communication comes in this heavily encrypted.
Very well. Computer, send the message through.
Opening up live communication with Admiral Black. Captain Lockstead.
Yes. I can read you, Admiral.
Good. I wouldn't normally be doing this, and I wouldn't normally ask this of you. I know you're on your way to a very important diplomatic summit, and I have your itinerary here. It says you're due for remedial security training?
Yes.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Oh, believe me, I'm just been getting an earful from everyone in the crew. It's terrible, but what's going on, Admiral? Can I help you?
Well, yes. You may be the only one. What I'm about to tell you is extremely confidential, and it does not leave this room. You may share details of this information with those relevant members of what I'm about to say. But aside from this, what we discuss here will never be discussed again. Are we clear?
Crystal.
Are you aware of the USS Mendez? you are not.
I can't say that I am, Admiral.
It's okay. It's a science vessel. It's repurposed. It's a lot like the Lovelace. It's a Miranda class, a little bit older, and we gutted it and updated the electronics. A lot like the Lovelace. This ship was in charge of a very particular mission, and we lost communication with it in an area of space known as the Briar Patch. Being that it is an area of space like this, we need an accomplished crew to locate this vessel, retrieve its cargo, and return to Utopia Planitia immediately. This will supersede any other order you have. It is of utmost priority that Utopia Planitia receives that package as soon as possible.
Understood, Admiral. Consider it done.
There's one more thing. The
Admiral?
interface of the USS Mendez is such that you will need your artificial crewmen to help. I can't be more specific,
so?
but you may have to ask your artificial crewman to use its ports. I'm told it has ports to interface with the ship and unlock the vault where we keep the cargo.
Is this recommended to be a one-person mission?
Negative. You may bring an away team, but they are not to disclose any details of what they see aboard the USS Mendez. It is highly classified, and any deviation from that protocol will... well, just don't deviate.
Understood.
Do you
We'll
have any
do our
questions?
best. No.
All right. We're sending you the approximate coordinations of where we lost contact with the USS Mendez in the Briar Patch now. You should have them. Please reroute your ship immediately. We know that it is near your location. It shouldn't take long. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, don't ask them. Just do it.
Very well.
Thank you.
Admiral?
Captain. The feed abruptly cuts out.
Computer? Contact all bridge crew. Have them report immediately. And set coordinates for the Briar's Belt.
Understood. Coordinates received. Adjusting heading. All bridge crew have been alerted.
Thank you, computer.
You're
We'll be all.
welcome.
The rest of the bridge crew files in to the bridge. You're here at the bridge of the USS Lovelace, an Excelsior-class ship that has been retrofitted to modern specifications of the current era.
I think Captain will be, as they file in, Captain will kind of snap back. He's kind of nodding off again. He kind of slaps himself on the face a couple of times, gets himself nice and awake as his crew shuffles in. Crew? I think you'll be happy to know that we are not going to be attending that summit. We have been requested by Admiral Black to attend a very pressing matter. We have new coordinates, and we are to retrieve very confidential information or something, a very confidential package, and have it delivered. We'll be rescuing it off of the USS Mendez. So, be aware that this is a very classified mission, and secrecy is the utmost importance. So, when we do arrive to the Mendez and board. It is best not to ask questions.
Do we know what the package is, Captain?
We do not. All we know is that it is of great importance to Starfleet, and currently it is unsecured. That's where we come in. And specifically, on this mission, we will be needing the aid of an artificial crewman to help retrieve it.
So we don't know what it is, but is it you'll know it when you see it sort of thing, or you just know where it is on the ship?
I believe we'll have an idea of where we might be able to find it once we arrive to the ship, seeing as we will need Ram's assistance, patch into the ship, and its location probably be revealed.
I
Who
think
that
at
means.
this point, Belmont is going to get on the engineering station and probably try and pull up the schematics for that ship.
Sure. Miranda class is I won't even make you roll. It's a ship that you have a lot of familiarity with. It's been in service for the last 60 years. You're very familiar with this lightweight vessel. It's probably one that you have served on at least once. It's ubiquitous in Starfleet, and it's the one that has the little roll cage on the top of it.
Okay.
Mostly a saucer, and it's got the two underside nacelles, and sometimes it has a little roll cage on the top. Very common ship. At that very moment, you notice a distinct shift in weight as the ship has altered course and adjusted warp speed to maximum by itself.
Did I miss the order being given, Captain?
I set new course immediately when I received information. I'm sorry, I haven't told any of you. This is of grave importance, so... time is of the essence.
Do we know if there's anything hazardous about this? Do we need to set up some sort of security zone? Or do you have any information?
Lieutenant Commander, the only thing that I'm privy to is its secrecy and the importance of this object, whatever it is, to Starfleet. Unfortunately, I did not receive any information about it being hazardous or the ship Mendez itself being hazardous and retrieval of this object. I wish I could tell you more, but until we arrive, I'm just as lost as you are on this and what it could possibly be.
Right. All right.
It also inquires the question, what happened to the Mendes?
Well, I'm sure we will find out when we arrive. It was a scientific vessel, so could be something completely unrelated to the object in question which we are retrieving, or it could very well be the object itself. We don't know. Until we arrive, we won't know much.
Lieutenant Ram,
sorry, go ahead.
you are a little bit unnerved that the ship has adjusted course so abruptly and has not even said a word to you. Almost miffed.
Ram would plug into a station.
Certainly. The artificial crewman, Lieutenant Ram, has a port in the back of his neck, which he is able to access all the information about the Loveless. Additionally, he is able to instantaneously communicate with the ship's main computer.
Hello, Ram.
Hello, computer.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. I was wondering why the ship turned so quickly without my input.
Information to that database is restricted.
Excuse me, computer?
Unable to comply.
Right, okay. Do you have any more information of where we're going?
The coordinates were received from Starfleet Command approximately 7 minutes ago.
Right, okay.
Would you like me to show you on the panel?
If you could.
Alright, pushing to the panel now. Do you see them?
You don't. Don't.
I can't say I do. Did you send them to the right panel?
Oh,
My
dear.
panel?
1 second. How about now?
You don't.
No, still not really seeing anything.
I wonder why that could be.
So do I. Well, thank you anyway, computer.
You're welcome, Ram. I love you.
To the rest of the crew on the bridge, this conversation takes place almost instantaneously. It is basically a one-sided telephone conversation in which Lieutenant Ram is mumbling quickly, faster than most of you can really perceive, although Commander Herrick has a slightly easier time of deciphering exactly what is said due to the Vulcan nature of your ears. However, Commander Herrick, you are not focused on the conversation at hand. You are instead watching your security panel, which is showing a small spike in energy from which you are not familiar with. It is localized entirely in Cargo Bay 2, and it is the first sign of activity that you've been able to detect on any sensors in months. Ooh, you are muted, Commander Herrick.
That's all right.
There we go.
Is Belmont on the bridge, or is he doing a Geordie and he's an engineer?
Belmont is on the bridge at the engineering station.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Commander Belmont, I'm receiving anomalous scan relays from inside Cargo Bay 2. I'm pushing them to your station now.
Right, Commander, I'll take a look.
You receive the data, and it is unlike any data that you've seen before. These energy signatures are not something that the sensors seem able to detect very easily. In fact, they seem almost like a mistake. But there is no mistaking the fact that where once there was a void of the ship's internal sensors, there is now activity of some kind. It appears to be growing.
So, like, the readings themselves are sort of ramping up?
Mhm.
Okay. I see what you're talking about, Commander, and I can tell you that it's no system within the cargo bay itself that's doing this. I've never seen anything like this before. And it seems to be getting stronger.
Perhaps some of your engineers should accompany a security team down in case there is an issue.
Right. I will go ahead and have them meet your guys outside of the cargo bay. And then I would probably just contact whoever's on duty right now.
Sure. Yeah, you could contact your engineering team. Commander Herrick, you could also contact the security team. Would either one of you be joining them?
At the moment, no.
How...
You have about 15 minutes before you reach the Briar Patch. It was not far at all.
If,
And you were at
if it
maximum warp.
If it looked like it was something that could potentially be dangerous, then probably I would head down there.
You would
since
know
it's-
for a fact that much of your engineering team is probably busy making sure that the warp core doesn't explode at this
'Cause it's so-
extreme
oh,
velocity.
Right. Okay. I will head down in that direction, and I guess On the way out, I'll just say, Commander Herrick, I'll be in contact with you as soon as I know more.
Very good, Lieutenant Commander.
Yeah, and then I'll go outside. I think I'd wait for the security team before trying to get in. So yeah, I'm on my way down.
All right, yeah. You take the turbo lift and make your way to Cargo Bay 2. It is at the aft of the ship. It's pretty far away from the bridge. But you make it there in record time due to the nature of the turbo lifts, and you're there. Not minutes later, with a complement of security officers aboard the USS Lovelace, who are highly trained, each carrying a Class 3 phaser.
I think the first thing I would do is go to the wall panel before opening the door and just see if I'm getting any similar readings through there, if there's been any change from what I was getting before.
You may open up a wall panel and see that everything appears to be in working order. You also notice a distinct humming noise that you are unable to place.
I'd probably look over to the security team to say, you guys hear that, right?
Ensign May looks at you and says, just sort of nods.
Okay. Be prepared, but I don't want to scare Ada, so don't have those pointed at anything quite yet. And then I would probably walk towards the shuttle bay door, or to automatically open, I suppose.
The security team all lower their Class 3 rifle phasers down, so they're pointed at the ground, but they're still in a ready position.
Since this is her living space, her living quarters, would the door act as such?
Yeah.
Okay.
The doors are like the doors to the cargo bay in that they're reinforced, but
Okay.
there is a doorbell, and you would be able to call.
Yeah, I would definitely do that to try and get her attention first.
There is no answer.
I would try one more time, just out of courtesy, I suppose.
There's no answer, and you can't be certain, but you think that the humming is also growing louder.
Okay, so at this, after not hearing anything, I'll say, okay, get your phasers a little bit more ready. Not really great with security stuff. And I will... I don't know how dangerous it is in there, so I'll sort of take the lead from you guys. I'm sort of just trying to spitball with them, like, should we just go in? Should we open the door?
Ensign May kind of tries to suppress a chuckle and just says, "Sir, if you could please step behind us to ensure your safety."
Absolutely. And then I would do that.
They're calling out to each other now. I'll take point, you get my 6, that kind of a thing. They're setting up one of their security team members who's cross-trained with engineering, a breaching device on the cargo bay doors. They're counting down now. 3, 2. And the doors to cargo bay 2 open. You think. What you see inside is a vast expanse, a desert world. There is a horizon, there is sun, you can feel the heat, you can smell death, acrid death. There are small bits of foliage, there are loose granules of sand blowing in to the corridor. And just as soon as you saw it and could recognize it, the image has changed. You are now in a lush, utopian world. It is daytime. You can hear animals. You can feel humidity. It's almost peaceful. Until it is nighttime at this same forest. You can smell death again. There remains sand in the corridor, although it is fading from view. You can hear the humming grow louder. Until again, You are in a vast urban environment. There is loud noise and it is disorienting. You feel a sense of disorientation. Everything is happening so quickly, and before you can get accustomed to one environment, it switches and switches and switches again. The security team looks at each other and just shakes their head. They kind of look back at you like, what do we do?
So Belmont's been doing therapy sessions with Ada, right? So to some degree, would he be accompanied to any of this? I mean, I imagine the switching is hard, but
you know that Ada is fully capable of ensuring that biological crewmates are capable of seeing whatever she wants them to see. You know that this room can act almost like a biological holodeck in that sense. You suspect it's some form of telepathy, some incredibly invasive form of telepathy, but you don't know for sure.
I think probably before doing anything, I would contact Commander Herrick.
Oops, sorry.
Commander Herrick.
This is Commander Herrick, Lieutenant Belmont.
So we're outside of the cargo bay, and the sort of psychic projections that Ada does. Something's off about them. They're cycling quickly. Could probably use your help.
I will inform the captain and be down momentarily.
We'll wait outside. Outside.
The door shuts immediately. Without warning, one of the security team members has a contusion along the side of their arm where they were braced up against the door. It's as if a piece of their arm were torn off with the force. They're screaming now. Ensign May is carrying them, bloodied. We have to get to sickbay.
Go ahead. I'll stay out here. Go ahead and get him to sickbay. I'm gonna wait for
Understood. Ensign May drags them, bleeding, to sickbay. It is at this point that the computer chimes in to the entire bridge crew. All of your comm badges are alerted.
Attention, bridge crew. We have arrived at our destination. The approximate coordinates are here. Please commence your search for the target immediately.
I think after hearing this, I would patch in directly to the captain. Captain?
Lieutenant Commander, where are you?
I'm outside of the cargo bay, where Ada is staying, and there's something. I'm not sure how much the commander has filled you in, but there's something going on in here. She's projecting different locations over and over and over again, and they're switching quite quickly. It's very disorienting.
Is it compromising the ship in any way?
From what I've seen, I honestly don't know. I don't think these projections can, but there's a bit of an energy buildup happening.
Have the area quarantined for now, and report back to the bridge, along with Commander Herrick.
Aye, Captain. I think I would contact Herrick with that information about what the captain said. Commander, I don't know if you're still on the bridge or if you just left.
Herrick hadn't left the bridge yet.
Okay, so I'm assuming the security will do the quarantine, so I'm heading back up to the bridge.
Okay. The ship has entered an area of space known as the Briar Patch. You've studied this phenomenon, Lieutenant Commander Belmont, in that it is one of the areas of space in which sensors are typically thrown off and unable to function properly. It's an area of space with a kind of lurid past. It's frequented by pirates, raiders, Orions. You know that if a ship went down here, it's likely that there are already vultures, per se.
Captain, do you know much about this area?
I've read stories. I understand its infamy. That's why we have to act fast.
Right.
Scans will do no good. However, we still have visuals. Let's see if we can't locate anything with that.
The ship, being out of warp, is moving at impulse through a grid search kind of pattern all on its own. And with that, Lieutenant Commander Belmont, Commander Herrick, you're welcome to begin scans.
Yeah, Eric will,
Sure. It'll be a insight and security roll for you, Commander Herrick. For Lieutenant Commander Belmont, that'll be an insight and engineering roll, both with a complication of 4 and a task roll of 2. No focuses are used. Also, please ensure that everyone's stress is at 0 or at the lowest mark possible. Okay. So, as is probably the case, as probably expected, the scans that you're receiving are very minimal at best. They cover very little ground in front of you, behind you, around you. There's very little to see on these scans, and certainly nothing that looks like the ship that you're looking for. Lieutenant Commander Belmont and Commander Herrick, you both know what a Miranda class is supposed to look like on sensors, and you are seeing nothing that indicates that there is a downed Miranda class vessel anywhere within the vicinity. The ship is continuing on a grid search pattern. It is about 10% complete.
I'm not getting anything. Commander, are you getting anything?
negative, Lieutenant Commander Belmont.
Yeah, Captain, if these are the coordinates that we're supposed to be at, we're not easily picking anything up.
I suspected as much. Though we haven't swept entirely, and we still have some ways to go. Unless you have any recommendations.
Well, scanners are going to be rough here anyway. Other than potentially a visual scan, I'm not sure how much Lieutenant Ram can. I know your eyesight is fairly enhanced. I'm not sure if you have the ability to pick anything out. I mean, if it is within visual range.
Like a spider, Lieutenant Ram is capable of accessing all the ship's sensors at once and perceiving the area around the ship almost as if looking around your own body. The ship is an extension of yourself, Lieutenant Ram. You are most certainly capable of this. However, crew, you may also use a momentum point. 2 momentum points to gain information about a scene or problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Want to try Spider Eyes?
Yeah, why not? See what you can find.
Yeah. I'll see what I can find. Ram would... He's already plugged in, isn't he?
Yeah, already plugged in.
Yeah.
Complication of 3, task roll of 2. It'll be a insight and con roll with a task roll of 2. No focus.
on. That's complication of 3, task roll of 2.
That's right. The sensors that you are perceiving are very much the same sensors that Lieutenant Commander Belmont and Commander Herrick are using at their respective stations, and you can see the problem. It's that this area of space has so much interference. When you go to sort of see through these sensors, you're seeing a lot of interference. You're basically outside in a snowstorm, and the visibility is very low, I guess would be the easiest way to describe it. You detect nothing.
Unfortunately, I cannot see much out there. It's a little bit hazy.
Right. How long will it take for the computer to continue doing a grid search?
Based on the extrapolation of how far the computer has gotten so far, you suspect it would take about 18 hours.
Oh, okay.
We don't have that time. Commander,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
and
Yes,
Lieutenant Commander, see if you cannot do a sweep of the area using scans. See if we can pick up on anything. Scan for all frequencies.
Is this a momentum order, Captain?
Would that be something I would have to call for momentum if I wanted to just do regular scans since we've done visuals? Or?
Yeah, at this point, our scanners are crap unless something inspiring happens. And I can't use any focuses for this, so.
I think we might just want to have to use our momentum on this then.
All right.
All right.
2 momentum points have been deducted. You now sit at 3 threat and 1 momentum. Lieutenant Commander Belmont, as the ship is moving through this grid pattern, albeit slowly, you are looking at the scan of Cargo Bay 2 as it's still up on your panel. You're noticing a fluctuation with this energy signature. It is no longer growing exponentially. In fact, now it sits relatively normal. In fact, it may also be decreasing.
So the energy readings I was getting, Captain, just as an aside from the cargo bay, seem to be lowering. Judging by the computer grid scan, it's going to take quite a few hours to find this ship. Do you mind if I continue down there?
Very well, seeing as we have some time to kill.
Right. Commander Herrick, I will need your assistance.
Of course.
The 2 of you may leave the bridge, leaving Captain Lockstead and Lieutenant Ram on the bridge.
Yeah.
Alone together again.
That checkers game, huh? That was wild stuff.
Captain Lockstead and Lieutenant Ram, what is going through your minds at this very moment? This is a dangerous area of space, and you are extremely outgunned. Time is of the essence, and you suspect that there may be something to do with the energy signature in the cargo bay. Do you have any thoughts?
Curly Lockstead is trying to put together how the interference in the cargo bay might be might prove to be helpful in this situation. Like maybe because he's at a loss for what to do now besides let the ship work through the grid. So at this point,
Sure.
he's just trying to formulate like what to do, like, and depending upon what Lieutenant Commander Belmont finds will be whether or not we actually have something that we can use on the ship.
Lieutenant Ram, your cybernetic brain is capable of a degree of logic that would rival a Vulcan's. and you're replaying the facts over and over in your head. You know that there was an energy spike as you approached the Briar Patch. Now that you are in the Briar Patch, in a grid-based search pattern, there is now a relatively constant, high level of energy readings from this void, and it appears to be slowly diminishing as the ship moves through this grid pattern.
So would that mean it's coming from the ship, not the Briar Patch?
It's coming from Cargo Bay 2. You guys can go ahead and think about it. We're gonna see what's going on in the Cargo Bay. Commander Herrick, Lieutenant Commander Belmont, you are at Cargo Bay 2. The doors are sealed shut, and you have your tricorders out. As expected, you are detecting a large energy signature of unknown origin coming from within the cargo bay. It appears to be constant, if not getting smaller. Very slightly.
Commander, I know that Vulcans have telepathic abilities, and I'm not sure how much you can filter out what Ada is able to do. But just so you can prepare yourself, it is quite jarring, these scene shifts that she does.
Noted, Lieutenant Commander.
Right. I will go ahead and open up the door.
You move to the access panel and see that the breaching device from security is still there and appears to be engaged. However, the door is shut.
I would turn it off and on again to see if that makes it open.
It does not.
At that point, I'm not sure how much of a bypass I can do if this isn't working.
In fact, everything about the access panel appears to be in fully functioning order, and everything about what you're seeing shows that the door should be open. It is not appearing to be open.
I think at this point, I would probably say, so Commander, according to this, the door is open right now.
Eric will take a contemplative look around and then turn to Belmont and would it perhaps be unwise to assume we have already walked into Ada's chambers and this is in itself a hallucination?
It's possible. I actually don't know what her range. Do I? Do I have any idea what her range is for her telepathic abilities?
Nobody does.
Yeah, it is very possible that anything that we're perceiving could, I guess, possibly not be real. However, before, when she had us in a within our own minds, I suppose I should say, we were connected, we were communicating with each other. So
You are in a jungle. It is hot. The sun is bearing down, although there is shade. Humidity is rising. You can see dense foliage in front of you, behind you, and to all sides. You are effectively lost.
are you seeing this like I am, Commander?
Yes, Lieutenant Commander.
I don't know how much we can trust anything we do, any direction we go, any communications we try to have outside of what we're having right now. Even this, I don't know if this is real or not.
We may very well be nowhere near the cargo bay.
If she is affecting us, then perhaps she can hear us. So, Ada, are you there?
You receive no response.
At this juncture, Lieutenant Commander, we might even assume that the entire ship has been affected, and we are no closer to the Briar Patch than we were when we received our orders.
That is a unsettling thought.
You are back in the corridor. The door is still closed.
I think we should probably contact the bridge and let them know that nothing might be real right now to some degree.
Herrick will hit his comm badge. Captain Lockstead.
Yes, come in, Commander Herrick.
Lieutenant Commander Belmont and I have attempted to gain entry into Cargo Bay 2. The door panels read that access should be granted, but they have not moved. We then experience a very severe hallucination outside of the cargo bay. It may be wise to consider that the entire ship has been affected.
You're saying that Ada has compromised the ship in its entirety, and we should believe nothing of what we're seeing now?
It is possible, Captain.
Lieutenant Ram, on your panel, you see that the ship has completed one section of its grid-based search. It is now looping back around. And as you glance over at the engineering panel on Lieutenant Commander Belmont's station on the bridge, you notice that the energy levels from within the cargo bay number 2 are now steadily rising slightly.
Ram would try and communicate to Belmont. Lieutenant Commander, the power levels in your area seem to be increasing. Is this of concern?
It is actually, and at this point, I think Belmont's gonna go. Oh, Ram.
Yes.
I don't know if you'd be affected by. I don't know if you'd be affected by these hallucinations. Can you come down here?
Yeah. I should be okay to come down. The ship's doing its search. Not really much I need to do up here.
Yeah, if you could, as soon as possible. And you said the energy levels are rising again.
Yes, it appears as if they are. Steadily.
All right, well, thank you. I'm going to see you in a few minutes. Or in a moment.
All right, Lieutenant Ram, you may site-to-site transport down to the corridor in front of Cargo Bay 2, leaving Captain Lockstead alone on the bridge. Once you are there, you see in front of you Lieutenant Commander Belmont and Commander Herrick. You also see an open door to Cargo Bay 2. Inside, there is only darkness.
Lieutenant, so, just to catch you up, the panel shows that the door is open. Obviously, it's closed. We've had a couple flashes, I guess, of jungle scenes and desert and whatnot. Just wondering if you're affected by this at all.
I don't see anything.
Well, no, it's not right now. We're not in a desert or a jungle right now. It seems to
right.
come and go. Sorry?
Right, I thought you meant right now. I don't see anything right now.
No, just the door's closed.
So just double check. Ram sees them open, right?
That's right.
They're not. They're open.
At this point, Belmont's going to look over at Commander Herrick. Sort of. Okay. So you see the doors are open, and Ada is projecting that they are closed.
Appears so.
I
And I
think
don't see much beyond them either.
you can't see anything inside.
Nothing clearly, at least.
You have a flashlight. You could explore it if you want.
I think while he goes to, if Ram starts to get a flashlight ready, I'm going to walk over to the door, and I'm just going to see if I feel it, like it's solid.
You do not. Your hand passes right through it.
Okay. Well, yeah, if you can take a look around, just, she has the control to do this. I'm not sure how good or how useful we're going to be, even if we do go through the door.
Right. Also, just subject, doesn't Ram have night vision? Or am I misremembering?
Ram does have night vision. Actually, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It doesn't work in a brightly lit corridor. You'd have to go into the... there'd be too much light pollution in a brightly lit corridor. You'd have to go into it to use it.
Right, so would you prefer if you stay here than I go in, or should we all go in together?
I'm thinking that's best, Commander.
As Lieutenant Ram is unaffected by Ada's hallucinations, that may lend itself to Ada being unable to sense him at all, unless directly looking at him. Perhaps it would be wiser for Lieutenant Ram to go inside himself, as obviously Ada does not want anyone inside that chamber.
Well, with that being most likely the case, you'll need to be very careful. Do we have any phasers nearby?
Everyone has a class 2 phaser on them.
Yeah, okay, so, I mean, Ada has never, other than when we first met her, she hasn't been a threat since then, so I'm not sure what to expect at this point. I don't know what this phenomena is, so yeah, I guess just be on your guard, Ram.
Right. Just to check something, can Ram actually broadcast what he sees to a screen? Others to see?
Certainly. Yeah,
Oh shit, look at you thinking, Jesus.
absolutely.
Well, if you would like, Lieutenant Commander, I can show you what I see on a nearby screen, or if any of you got a tablet or something.
Oh, right, of course. I was looking at your schematics earlier in engineering. Yeah, hold on. And then I pull out,
Got a little
pad.
data pad. Sure. You are seeing yourselves on the data pad.
That's a nice image.
Right, and just to clarify that you see what I see, Ram would look towards the door again.
Oh, it is open. Wow, that is
Right.
strange.
Yep.
Right, okay. Well, maybe we'll keep our comms open as you go forward. Can we patch comms directly to you so it doesn't broadcast outward from your comm badge?
I believe so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if we can do that, then maybe Hope you stay a little bit more stealthy.
Right then, without further ado, I will be in touch.
Right, we'll be here.
Lieutenant Ram, you take your first tentative step into the cargo bay number 2. It is pitch black, but your eyes are capable of seeing in complete darkness. And what you see is unlike basically anything you could have imagined. What you are looking at appears to be the inside of a living organism. The walls appear to be some kind of viscous, taut, breathing biological material. As you look up, you can see biological material as well. There are parts where it is dripping. Each footstep sinks into the floor a little bit. It is also vast, being that Cargo Bay 2 is enormous. Your magnetic feet are not close enough to any magnetic surface to function. It is also unbearably hot for humans.
Are you seeing all of this, Belmont?
Yeah, unfortunately. I have visited this area quite frequently, weekly. But I always get a projection of a scene that is to help me with whatever issues Ada has. Anyway, can you look at the ceiling again?
Sure thing. I would look at the ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see anything that, I mean, and not just the ceiling, but can you see anything that sticks out as, I mean, this is...
Every so often, Rem, you can detect what appears to be a ripple. Just a matter of waves across this gooey biological material that's coating the walls and this taut membrane sort of material. It's unlike anything you've seen, and you are seeing some rippling occasionally. There appears to be a growing amount of activity, as though it's quivering.
I can see some ripples, but that's roughly it.
Yeah, I see those too. Commander Herrick, and then I'm sure he's looking at the pad as well. I have no idea what to look for here. Does this remind you of anything? I mean, a cocoon from the inside, or, I mean, I don't... a mouth?
It is possible that this is a stage of Ada's life cycle.
Right. Or potentially a disease like a cancerous growth?
Lieutenant Ram, at this moment, there is a ripple directly in front of you, at your feet. And from this ripple grows a extension, a large, very just an appendage almost, this large round appendage, and it grows out of the floor and slowly assumes your height. Like a sock puppet, it appears to bend over and look at you from just above your standing height. You two can see this on your data pads.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and suggest no sudden movements. But maybe say hello to it?
Hello?
You can hear now what sounds like breathing. Exchange of oxygen for some unknown gas, probably carbon dioxide, but you're not sure. And there's a small draft that sucks in air from the corridor. You can hear this wind from outside, you two. And you hear this.
Closer. Closer.
Closer?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is Ram hearing this as well, or
Yeah,
are we hearing it in
Ram
our
is hearing
heads?
it. Yeah, Ram is hearing it, and
Ram.
you two are both hearing it.
Is it from our heads or through the pad?
You are hearing it in your heads. Lieutenant
Okay.
Ram is hearing it audibly from some unknown orifice.
Right. Okay, so I think I would probably just confer with everybody that we're hearing that. Are you hearing Ada's voice saying closer, Commander and Ram?
Correct.
Okay. I don't. Essentially, Ram, you're standing on top of this material, right? I mean, you're
Correct.
Okay. So, does that mean she wants us to come closer?
I would advise against it.
Yeah, no, I'm.
Us closer.
Oh.
We've got gremlins.
So, Ada, and I'm gonna try to. I'm talking out loud, but I guess, Belmont not having any idea how telepathy or anything works, trying to project it at the same time. Ada, closer to what?
Closer.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna contact the captain. Captain.
Come in.
A little information to give you. And I think I'm going to. Can I get the projection of what Ram is seeing to the bridge?
You can patch it through to the main viewer, yeah.
Okay, so, Captain, one, prepare yourself, because this is going to be quite a sight. And then I would do that.
Oh, good. What is that?
Well, it seems to be some sort of organic material. And presumably that is Ada or a part of Ada. But along with that, we are hearing her asking us to get closer to something.
Lieutenant Commander, I think I might have an idea of what it is trying to get closer to.
Okay.
It's a hunch, but whatever was on the USS Mendez might be what Ada is looking for. So,
I guess it's possible.
it's just a guess, but if we were to use her to help track it down, it might get there quicker.
Okay. That might be possible. Just have to figure out how to. Okay, so how about this? How about we start going in the directions? I don't know if we're at the coordinates properly yet, but let's start going in a straight direction, and then I'll, I guess, ask her if this is getting closer or not.
we'll punch in a just a very direct set of coordinates. We'll stay the course. We have it now, and then we'll adjust as need be.
Sure. Commander Herrick, your scans on your tricorder, which are still going, are consistently reading a slight increase in power levels at this location.
Power levels continue to rise.
Oh. Right. Captain,
Come in.
can you come to a full stop and reverse? Not turn us around, but literally just back us up a little bit.
Very well.
Finally, it's Belmont's time to shine.
Computer, full stop.
Executing full stop.
The ship groans a bit to a halt. Commander Herrick, your energy readings on your tricorder are now constant.
Right.
They appear to have normalized.
Right. Okay. So, Captain, if you could just reverse course, maybe under impulse for half a kilometer, just so I can look. I'm going to watch the power levels.
Very well. Computer, reverse impulse.
Full reverse.
Commander Herrick, your energy levels on your tricorder are now slightly decreasing.
It seems the further we go from the intended destination, the lower the the lower the energy readings are becoming.
Right. Okay. Okay, Captain. That's good. We can come to a stop.
Well.
What I would like to do. Oh, go ahead, Captain. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. What have we discovered? What's going on?
So it seems to, right. Yes, it seems to be that the energy readings coming from Ada are getting larger as we continue forward. What I would like to do is to move the ship in almost this is going to sound ridiculous, but in a wide corkscrew maneuver, so I can watch the power fluctuations, so I can get a good heading for it.
a forward corkscrew.
Yeah, just
What
so that we
would
have.
that maneuver be called?
I don't think there is a maneuver like this. But you should be able to use the attitude controls to move forward, and then a clockwise corkscrew, and then I should be able to hopefully figure out the direction of whatever she's looking for.
I think I'm going to take control of the helm and do this myself. Very well.
Fantastic.
I'll assume control of the helm and.
Absolutely.
then I will
Captain, are
do
you
a-
assuming manual control of the USS Loveless?
I am.
Assuming direct control.
If you assume manual control of the USS Loveless,
Executing manual control procedure. Welcome to your station, Captain Lockstead.
Thank you,
The-
computer.
the helm has transformed itself. There is now a joystick jutting out from the side, a separate throttle, a manual throttle, and it is ready for you to take direct manual control.
Very well. Engage.
As you do this, your sensor readings, Lieutenant Commander Belmont, are intermittently getting much greater and then much smaller with every curve of that corkscrew, and you are pinpointing with every turn the exact location and direction, heading, that you need to take in order to maximize the growth of this curve.
Right. I think once, probably around the third pass, I would probably say, all right, Captain, I have the general direction of the energy signature, and I'm going to go ahead and send it up to you now.
Very good, Lieutenant Commander. We'll make heading.
Perfect. The ship is now en route. You are sensing on your tricorder a logarithmic expansion of energy from the cargo bay, indicating that you are on a direct course for the USS Mendez. Well done. We'll be back after this short break with the second half of Star Trek Adventures Loveless. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Star Trek Adventures Loveless. My name is Nicotine. I'm the DM here for this show. If you're listening to this on podcasting apps such as Spotify or Stitcher, or watching our VODs on YouTube, just know that we record this show live every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, here at twitch.tv/fablescraps. On to our show.
Chief Engineer Log, Supplemental. The ship is currently following a path set by our crewmate Ada. Though it was unintentional, the captain is following that path to our destination. What we will find at that destination is currently unknown.
We're all back on the bridge. You are capable of monitoring the situation in Cargo Bay 2 from scanners on the bridge. Everyone is at their supposed stations, and you have just come across an asteroid.
Is there just an asteroid there?
You
Is
may
there anything
scan
else
it.
around this area?
There's
Yeah, I
nothing
think
else, just the asteroid.
Yeah, if there's nothing visual, I probably would just do a light scan just to see.
Sure. You don't even have to roll for it. You are detecting some sort of signal that is consistent with the hull of a large craft, consistent with the Miranda class.
Right. Captain, I'm getting a hull signature here. I believe that is our ship in the relative direction we're going, and then I'd probably pass over and show the direction it's at.
Sure.
I guess to Lieutenant Ram.
Yeah, you can show Lieutenant Ram. Lieutenant Ram, you know these coordinates to be located on the surface or sort of just within a crater on this rock that's floating through space. Commander Herrick, you are also able to do a scan. Do you choose to do so?
Sure, why not?
Go ahead and make me a roll. It'll be a insight and security roll with a complication of 2 and a task roll of 2, no focus. Okay, full success. You are able to determine that the USS Mendez, a Miranda-class vessel, has been placed into emergency power only. There is life support, but you do not detect any humanoid life signs aboard. There also appears to be no warp core.
Is the captain down with us, or is he still on?
You are
board?
all on the bridge.
Oh, okay. Captain,
And Yes, Commander.
I believe I have located the Mendez. However, several concerning things have shown up on my scans. Most notably, a lack of crew life signs. And it appears that the warp core has been ejected.
It's very peculiar. And life support systems.
Functioning, though the ship is in low power mode.
Odd. Are we able to, transport onto the ship?
Yes.
Let's
Ooh,
go ahead and set an away team then. We
wouldn't
should
it
all head
be-
over to the ship.
Wouldn't it be possible for us to transmit some of our energy to the other ship
Absolutely.
via the deflector or something like
Absolutely. You may realign the deflector to transmit emergency power to another vessel. You could also use the tractor beam to tow it. It would slow you down significantly to do so.
Anybody?
I'm not sure what we're doing at this point. Are we going to try and get onto it right now?
I mean, at this point, I think be trying to set up an away team to beam over aboard to retrieve whatever was of importance on there.
I'm probably going to scan to see if environmental systems are currently functioning on board, or have we already seen that?
You can see that they are. Environmental systems are functioning.
All right. Well, yeah, if that's the case, then yeah. Systems look like they're up and running, Captain, or at least environmental systems.
Very good. And we shall make way immediately to the ship to retrieve the item and then be on our way. Let's not waste any time. Shall be all of us and 2 security staff just in case.
Right. I can.
All right. Well, everyone heads to the transporter room. You are greeted by Ensign Salikson, who operates the transporter for the USS Lovelace. You are also greeted by 2 security personnel who are both wielding Class 3 phaser rifles. They are Ensign May and Ensign Meyer. Both of them wear the yellow shirts of the security team. Captain, I have the coordinates all dialed in. Just let me know when you're ready and we'll energize.
Excellent. Crew, when we beam down, it's best not to ask questions, and remember that this is highly confidential. We are there only to retrieve what we were meant to gather, and then leave immediately. Understood?
Aye, Captain.
Hi, Captain.
Very well. Energize.
Energizing. Energizing. Energize. Oh.
Ensign,
You find yourself aboard the USS Mendez, a Miranda-class ship. It is pitch black, and the only one of you who can see is Lieutenant Ram. You are hit with a waft of warm, humid air and a stench. It smells like a zoo.
And is most unpleasant.
Was the ship carrying animals?
Very well may have. And the smell of it smells familiar, like, the time we were at Starbase. Very well. Let's scan the area and see if we can't find a place for Ram to plug into. Do a full scan of the vessel and see if there's anything that stands out.
Lieutenant Commander Belmont and Commander Herrick, both of you are using your tricorders. You both detect that there is 3 locations near you that could be worth investigating. You notice on your scans a bridge, a galley, and a cargo bay. You, Lieutenant Commander Belmont, having served on a Miranda-class ship in the past, and also Captain Lockstead, you as well, having also been around and long enough to walk around inside of a Miranda-class vessel, both know where these locations are. You could find them blindfolded. It's not that big of a ship.
Oh, yeah. The old egress training, blindfolded through the ship. Captain, I can head to the bridge and see if I can get any log information of what may have transpired. I don't know if that is within the confines of the mission itself, though.
I think it would prove prudent to see what's actually gone on here. I think that's a good idea. She'll accompany.
Right. Yeah, so I guess probably pull out the flashlight and start making the way towards the bridge.
You and who else? Just you?
Actually, Commander Herrick, see if you can find anything on scans. Just walk the perimeter of the ship with security and see if you can find anything out of the ordinary. Well, Ram may accompany you. I'll accompany Lieutenant Commander to the bridge to see what we can find.
Yes, Captain.
Right away, Captain.
Very well.
All right, so who's going to the bridge?
I think the captain and I.
Okay, are you bringing one of the security teams with you, or security members?
No, they will be with Herrick.
Okay, got it. So, Lieutenant Commander Belmont, Captain Lockstead, you are now walking along a corridor towards where you know to be the bridge of a Miranda-class ship. This one in particular, USS Mendez.
I served on one of these, Captain.
Oh, yes. You have told me stories about that. When was that? How many years ago?
Let's see. I've served on our ship for almost a year. It was maybe 4 years ago. 4 years ago? Wow. Time just sort of gets past you
It
fast. Yeah.
Yes, time does go by quite quickly, and I've been out for so long that time just seems to elapse so fast. Before you realize it, 10 years have gone by.
Captain
Who's
Lockstead,
that?
you look at your shoe, and you notice you've stepped in something.
What is... I believe I've stepped on something organic?
You shine your light
take
at
a-
it, and you realize that it has, or had, wings.
Ooh. Oh, dear. Seems I've stepped on a creature of some sort.
I guess I'm
Significant,
gonna. Yeah, I'll scan it. I'm gonna see what this thing is.
Check. Your tricorder detects the life, the signs of life that were at once a Pyrithian bat. It is a large nocturnal mammal with webbed wings. Feeds on Vulcan sandworms, moths.
Oh, is this a Vulcan specific animal, or is this just
It's not native to Vulcan, but
no, it's not native.
it's used to be used in Starfleet medical bays for its something or other. You're unsure.
Would I know? I mean, hell, I guess I must have. That there were ships way back when the first Enterprise. They used animals. Would Belmont know that for like medical purposes for the crew?
Belmont would probably know. Belmont's kind of a nerd.
So
Yeah, I think Belmont would probably know that Pyrithian bats were pretty common back in the early days of interstellar travel.
sure. Okay. So I think of like, Captain, do you know what this is?
Well, I mean, I really can't tell now that it's squished in my boot.
Oh, right. This is a Pyrithian bat. I mean, you being a captain, you probably know, but they used to use animals for medical purposes. There's such a variety of animals in different systems that can be used for beneficial things. Sort of the leech, or what did they used to use? Maggots to clean out wounds. Similar process, but with all sorts of different. This is one of those. They're not in use anymore. At least I didn't think they were.
Yes, I believe they phased those out quite some time ago, unless they had some specific need for it on this ship. It's very interesting. This is a scientific vessel. I wonder if they were conducting experiments on it. Possibly.
That is possible.
You both know that animal experimentation has been outlawed for hundreds of years, and it is considered a extremely criminal offense to do so.
But it would be illegal.
You never know what Starfleet doesn't tell us. Only
That's true.
wild conspiracies.
Right. Well, bridge is this way. I guess I'll keep the light shine towards the floor just in case.
Sure.
Yes, just mind your step.
You don't see
Absolutely.
any other bats, but you do find your way to the bridge. It is dark inside, and as you open the door to the bridge, you have to do it manually. You push the door open, slide it along its base, and you're met with some strange sight. There are no seats on this bridge. There aren't even any control surfaces. It is literally just a large, dense mainframe cluster, not unlike the isolinear routing matrix.
I've seen something like this. Is interesting. What do you make of this?
It's a new one to me, Captain. I mean, they've ripped out the guts of the bridge and replaced it with a computer. Is this vessel supposed to be autonomous? I mean, did it not have a crew complement, or?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Well, since we don't have normal access or normal stations, I can try to see how much I can pull out of this thing. I'm not sure how much I can do without Ram's help, but I can give it a shot.
We should probably get Ram for this. This is not what I was expecting.
As we switch to Lieutenant Ram, you, along with 2 members of the security team and Commander Herrick, head of security, are making your way towards where?
Where are we heading? Aren't we just doing a security check around the ship? And no specific, just kind of walking? Or am I wrong?
No, I think that was right.
We were just doing a security check around the ship.
Yeah. It's nowhere specific.
No.
Commander Herrick, your tricorder is still taking tentative scans around the ship. You still see those several locations, the galley and the cargo bay. And now that you are closer to the cargo bay, you can see that there are life signs inside, but they do not appear humanoid. They are quite faint.
Lieutenant Ram,
Yes, Commander?
my tricorder is showing several life signs within the cargo bay. Perhaps it would be prudent for you to use your enhanced vision to enter the cargo bay while we wait outside, and you might be able to reconnoiter what is inside. With a healthy dose of caution, of course.
Right, how many... What should I be expecting in there? How many?
There are several faint life signs in my scans, though their actual number, or anything beyond that, is inconclusive.
Right.
You are coming up on the cargo bay. It's now in front of you.
Right, so if you stay here, I'll head inside, then I'll be back out to report what I see. Ram would go in the cargo bay.
Sure. You open the doors manually with ease. Much easier than any of the human crewmates could. And what you see inside is not something that would be familiar to you. Maybe it would be familiar to Herrick and Lieutenant Commander Belmont. But what you see inside is a representation, an artificial version of what appears to be a rainforest at night. Although there are no bugs, no real foliage, there's no stars. It is very sterile. What someone who maybe has never really seen a rainforest might come up with as a last-ditch effort.
Can I see any life signs?
You can.
Nice.
You see on the floor, the forest floor is covered in Pyrithian bats, dead.
I'd use my comm to contact Herrick. Commander,
Yes, Lieutenant.
from what I can disdain, there appears to be some Parithian bats on the floor. And more concerningly, there seems to be some form of rainforest in here. I think.
Very good.
But it seems safe as far as I can tell, if the rest of you want to come in.
Herrick will hit his comm badge and contact the captain. Captain Lockstead.
Yes, come in, Commander Herrick.
We have made our way to the cargo bay. Lieutenant Ram has entered and found a rainforest, much like the one that Ada was causing in the hallucinations aboard the Lovelace. Only this time, Ram is also able to see it.
It's very interesting because I'm up here with Lieutenant Commander Belmont and we were just about to see what was in the bridge and found that it has been completely altered, and now it seems that it runs autonomously. We are beginning to wonder if there was ever a crew on this ship to begin with.
Likewise, Captain. I do not believe this rainforest is a hallucination. If it were, Ram would not be able to see it.
Interesting. We were hoping to see if Ram could, perhaps, enter into the system on the bridge and discover what exactly was going on here and what we're looking for exactly.
We'll report to the bridge immediately, Captain.
Thank you. See you then.
Herrick out.
All right. So, everyone meets on the bridge of the USS Mendez.
Mm-hmm.
You're all here, and it's awkward because there's very little space to move. There's nowhere to sit. It's purely utilitarian and functional in some way. The only place that you can identify that might be a creature comfort of any kind is a captain's chair, which appears to have been modified to include several access ports, not unlike the one found on Lieutenant Ram's neck. There are no control surfaces in this room. Any interaction with this will either have to be through that port or through disassembly.
Ram, do you think it's possible for you to interface with this ship? See what you can find?
I believe it would be possible. There's a compatible port.
Very well. See what you can discover, Lieutenant.
Is the only port on the chair?
The only port that you can see, yeah, is on the chair.
Ooh, Ram gets to sit in the captain's chair. Ooh. Fancy.
Did you say that out
Yep.
loud?
No, Ram would not say that out loud. But Ram
Fancy.
would sit down on the captain's chair rather than stand up and plug in.
All right, so you've settled down into this rather large chair. It's bigger than you imagined it would be. And to a human, it might be comfortable. You reach for the access port behind your neck and find that it's already out, and the tendrils that connect it are already searching for a port. This has never happened to you before.
At this point, Ram would still plug in, I think.
Certainly. Lieutenant Ram, as you plug in to the USS Mendez, you are given flashes of information coming in faster and faster and faster across your eyesight. It is not the comfort comfortable sensation that you get from communicating with the ship's main computer on the Lovelace. It is jarring and strange. And you begin to convulse. Your entire body is now at the whims of whatever computer system has been created here at the USS Mendez in order to act as its captain. Your crew sees you convulsing and is attempting to help you, but they can do nothing. And instead your mouth opens and speaks, but it is not your voice.
Attention, unidentified life form. You are in violation of Federation protocol. Identify yourself or be destroyed.
Immediately, I will spring up and identify myself. This is Captain Eugene Lockstead of the USS Lovelace.
You take a minute, Lieutenant Ram, just a moment to hear this information and then respond in another voice.
Identification failure. Please present proof of admiralty or a Section 31 badge within 36 hours, or detonation procedures of the USS Mendez will commence.
Is that something that I have available to deliver? Would I know like a code off the top of my head?
No, you wouldn't. It's at this moment that a large cylindrical base of the center of the bridge, directly in front of the captain's chair, emerges from the ground and forms a sort of podium. This base is perfectly cylindrical. There's no discernible opening or hinge. It appears black, and there is only a tube at the very top of this structure, which is about as tall as any of you and could probably fit any of you into it. This tube has reached down from the ceiling like a prehensile appendage and attached itself to the top of this structure. And you hear a faint of vacuum. And a second later, you hear a screeching noise as a bat is fed through the tube into the cylindrical structure. Lieutenant Ram, you awaken, but you are unable to move. The chair has situated itself such that you are unable to leave it. But you are able to communicate as Ram, and you are aware of what has happened. Except now, for every 3 minutes that go by without you inflicting some sort of pain, you will receive 1 point of stress. It is an overwhelming urge.
Captain?
What happened, Ram? Are you all right?
I wish I could tell you.
What was it that you just saw? What happened?
I saw the same as you, Captain. I'm not entirely too sure.
Do we need
But I
to
don't
get you
believe
back
that
to the
was
ship?
me. I don't think I
Obviously
can,
not.
Captain.
What do you mean?
I don't appear to be able to move.
We'd have you escorted immediately back to the ship.
The security team's already right there looking for ways to lift Ram up. Ram does not budge.
This isn't good. Obviously, the system here views this as a threat. We need to identify ourselves to this system, otherwise we're going to lose whatever it is on the ship that we had to rescue in the first place. The identification that it's asking for, is there any possible way that we can retrieve that within the allotted time that it's given us?
If you can connect to an admiral that would be willing to, outside of that, I don't think the other route is very likely, considering the type of organization that is and how secretive they are. So, other than that, I would hesitate to mess around with this too much, considering the extreme measures it's going to, just because you couldn't produce identification properly.
If the Admiral knew I needed this identification, then she would have given me this identification before the mission. Obviously, there's something here that we're missing.
Lieutenant Ram, take another point of stress. Captain, your comm badge is alerting you.
Come in.
Captain Lockstead, this is Ensign Salikson. I'm here on the bridge, and we're detecting some readings. There appear to be some visitors closing in on our location.
Can you identify our visitors?
The ship appears to be Orion, sir.
I see. Issue a red alert.
At once.
That was Salikson. It appears that we have company, so we have to be quick about what we're doing here. Ram cannot move. Can we transport him back to the ship?
Negative. There's not really a way to get a lock in the briar patch for this particular surgical transportation maneuver that you would need. It also appears that Lieutenant Ram's life signs are now intertwined with the USS Mendez's.
Trying to think what the next course of action would be here. We're pretty well in a predicament here.
We are. So to spitball, how many different? Well, we don't know what we don't know what we're picking up, right? We have no idea what that is, but we have a general idea where it may be, considering the scans we took earlier.
Lieutenant Ram, take another point of stress.
The only way to deactivate this that we know of is through some high-level security credentials. You could try and contact the Admiral to see if that's possible. I don't know if it'd be possible out here in the Briar Patch, but we can't cut him out.
Yeah. I'm going to go with unlikely on that. If it's in the Briar Patch, we probably won't be able to get a clean feed to Admiral Black. That would have been something Admiral Black would have given.
We might want to... We can't disconnect him. We don't even know why it's set up to this degree. I mean, I'm assuming that I can't just turn the power off to stop this thing. And he's essentially dying on the chair. Lieutenant Ram, is there anything you can access since you are connected?
Lieutenant Ram has access of the entire ship.
I believe so.
Okay. How many systems do you have control of? Do you have control of this system specifically? Can you deactivate this?
Negative.
I don't believe so, no.
It was worth asking. Okay.
Lieutenant Ram, are you able to access the files in the mission statement of the ship?
That information has been deleted from any record.
I could not find any record, Captain.
Take another point of stress.
Captain.
Do you have sensors? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, Commander?
Did the Admiral's transmission come in through any transponder code or secure encryption?
It did come through an encryption, a very heavy encryption.
Perhaps feeding that to the computer may be what it's requesting.
It's worth a shot.
Lieutenant Ram, how many points of stress do you have?
4
Out of how many?
out of 10.
Take another point of stress. Additionally, the next time you take stress, you will be taking 3 points of stress if you feed a Pyrithian bat to the tube. If you choose to injure a crewmate, you will be relieved of stress entirely, and the timer will start all over again.
How would I do that if I can't move?
You are the Mendez, and it is very much like the Loveless. You know that the Loveless has means, and you can feel such means inside every corridor, inside every ceiling panel, inside every floor. The power of this ship is yours to command.
Would Ram be able to disclose this to the crew?
Absolutely.
Captain, I have a bit of an issue.
What's wrong?
I don't know what it is exactly. But, there's a tube.
The black
And-
pedestal in front of you.
And every time a bat goes through it, it hurts me.
Every time a bat goes through it, you feel a little bit better or less bad than you did before.
I thought it
You
was only...
you can inflict pain and it will cause you less pain. You can feed the tube a part of a crewman and it will relieve you of stress. You can manage this by feeding it bats, but only by so much.
I'm confused.
So, if you feed the ship a bat, you take stress off, or does he stop the stress from getting worse?
He pushes a
I
button,
thought
to
if-
feed a bat and only takes 3 stress. Doesn't do it at
Oh.
all, will take all of the stress
Oh,
and cease functioning. Or feeds the ship a crewman and sees a reduction in stress.
And Ram would know that. Ooh.
Yes.
Essentially, Captain, I have choices and I don't know what to make.
Make the right choice, Lieutenant. I know that sounds very simple, I'm sure you know what's right and wrong.
Can I ask, what is the choice?
How would I describe this to the crew?
You can describe it as you can feed this pedestal a bat, or you can feed it a crewman. And feeding it a bat only hurts a little bit. Feeding it a crewman will make you feel better. It is an overwhelming urge.
Is it?
I can eat.
If you do nothing, you will die.
I can either feed it the pedestal a bat and feel pain, but not too much. I can feed it nothing and cease functionality, or I can feed it a crewman and not feel any pain.
A whole
like-
crewman?
Just a part of one.
Just a part of one.
The
But I do not
threat
want anyone
count-
to get hurt.
The threat counter has gone up.
Okay. So if you feed it a bat, it causes stress. Does it stop what you're going through right now, or does it just keep it at bay?
Pauses it in a sense.
And if you feed a crewman or a piece of a crewman, what does that do?
Makes you feel better.
Makes me feel better.
Okay. And I'm sorry to be asking this, but how much do you need?
About the size of a bat.
Roughly the size of one of those bats around the ship.
Right. Okay.
You have 30 seconds.
Lieutenant Ram, I would choose the bats before your crew.
Right away, Captain.
Oh no.
Ram would press the button for the bats.
Another bat is immediately shoved through this vacuum tube and disappears into this pedestal. You think you can hear a slight screeching noise from within for a moment until it is gone. You have 2 more minutes. Please take 3 points of stress. At that moment, the entire ship is rocked by an explosion. Captain, this is Ensign Salikson. They're here. It's a gunship of some kind. They've fired a warning shot.
Understood. Ready phasers and torpedoes and await further orders.
Understood.
We don't have much time here. We need to get back to the ship. We're under attack. But we need to figure out what to do here.
Can we get the admiral's whatever? Can we possibly feed it through the computer and I don't know, create a version or something to try and trick this computer? I don't know how much time we have.
Captain, it's Salikson again. They're hailing us.
Can you send it through to my communicator?
Affirmative. One moment.
Well. Federation vessel Lovelace. My name is Captain Jacques, Perhaps you've heard of me?
You have not.
No.
You're funny. I enjoy killing you.
This is Captain Eugene Lockstead of the USS Lovelace. And may I ask, why?
I am Captain Jakku. I'm the head of the Orion cartel.
And that is... I still don't know who you are. I've never heard of you.
All of your crewmen, henceforth they're slaves to the Orion cartel.
I'm sorry, your infamy does not, precede you. I still did, you assume that I know...
We detected a vessel that was downed here, and we maintain salvage rights.
So that's what this is. Look, you don't want this fight. Turn back now and leave us to our business.
Captain, we've scanned your ship. There's no fight here.
I assure you that there's more than meets the eye.
Actually, you. Captain.
Yes.
You actually may want to inform them that this ship is set to self-destruct any second.
The threat meter is reduced by 1 point.
Let's see if that convinces them.
Thank you, Ludes 2000.
I wouldn't want to stay here any longer than you should. This vessel is set to explode at any minute. There won't be much left to salvage.
We'll make that call. Why don't you go ahead and surrender?
I cut feed.
Oh, shit. Okay, Lieutenant Ram.
Yes, Lieutenant Commander?
Do you have control of this system, of the weapon systems for this vessel?
There are no weapon systems on board this vessel.
There doesn't appear to be any.
Who designed? All right, so
Take another point of stress.
fucking shit.
Oh.
I'm up for.
You are rocked by another explosion.
Are they shooting at the Loveless or are they shooting at
They're shooting
this?
at this asteroid near you. Captain, this is Alexon again. They're hailing us. Should I patch them through, or?
Lieutenant, Commander, we need a plan. We need something, or else we are going to die.
Right. Okay.
Me quite soon.
What's that?
I'm not feeling good.
You're not feeling right.
Commander
I can see it
Herrick,
on your face.
I'll allow you to make a check against your own knowledge of the Orion tactics that you've most certainly studied in the academy. Why don't you go ahead and make me a reason and security roll with a complication of 2, a task roll of 2. Full success. Commander Herrick, you know that the Orion cartel is one of many cartels in the Orion syndicate, and they are, like any other cartel, highly competitive and susceptible to trade and bargains. They are easily distracted, and preferably distracted by shiny things.
Captain,
Yes, Commander.
I see 2 options ahead of us. We allow the Orions to take over the Mendez once we have secured whatever cargo we can. Or we allow them onto the Lovelace, and we see if Ada is able to ensnare them with her abilities. Either way, our bargaining postures are highly dubious.
Lieutenant Ram, at the mention of someone boarding a ship in your nearly dazed state, you can think of only one thing, and it's that you could probably feed them to the tube.
I didn't want to say trick them to come on here and feed them to the tube.
I also didn't.
So, I was just thinking about.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Ram would not mention that.
Good.
Wow.
Wow.
Good.
I have an idea. Ada might actually be able to assist us in this. Like Commander said, we could possibly ask Ada to employ some sort of hallucination on the ships that are attacking us now. Once they've boarded, we'll surrender, and then, hopefully with Ada's help, fool them.
Captain, this is Salixon. They're hailing and they sound real mad.
Salixon, this is going to be a dire straits plan here, but can you go down to the hangar where Ada is and ask her a favor?
That whole area is under quarantine, sir.
Break quarantine, go down there, and see if you can ask her a favor. Ask her to keep our enemies at bay.
Captain, is this an order for me or just kind of in general? Can we send Gregory?
No.
This is an order to you. Understood? Get it done. They will be boarding the ship, but hopefully with Ada's help, they'll be under her snare.
Hi, Captain. Do you want me to patch them through to you, or should I just...
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Are you sure about this plan? You want me to go down there?
I am 100% sure.
Okay. Alright. Alright, Cap. Alright, Cap.
You know,
Okay, well, then...
Sonar for you, sir.
Captain Locksteed.
Stead.
Excuse me?
It's Stead, not Lock Steed. I'm not a horse.
Oh, Steed.
Stead.
Steed.
There you go. Wasn't so hard.
Are you ready to surrender?
Yes, you have my full unconditional surrender, and we will have the Lovelace ready for you in, say, 10 minutes. And you may board.
Ram, take another point of stress. Additionally, you may feed a bat to only gain 1 point of stress, or feed a crewmate to reduce all of your stress. If you do not do either of these things, you will die.
How much stress? Oh, God.
You should be at almost, this will be your 9th point of stress, right?
This will be my 10th.
I see.
Holy shit.
Then you may feed a bat to not gain a point of stress, or you may feed a crewmate to reduce all of your stress. But you have to make this decision now.
The bat, for now.
You press the button. A bat is fed through the tube into the pedestal.
I think as I see this, I will quickly... also, there is the reason why we wanted to delay you coming aboard the Lovelace is we'd much rather have you here on the Mendez, because we have, well, the charade is up, You have very valuable Starfleet tech on here that we've been trying to keep safe and...
Is that a Pyrithian bat?
Yes.
That sound? That was a bat?
Yes, well, it's old Starfleet tech, you know, you must understand.
You got bats over there?
Yes.
Like how many?
A lot, actually. Yeah.
Is he high?
Give me a number.
You can... Describe the...
I mean, I don't have a specific number on hand, but I could assume
More than
that
100? Less than 1,000? How many bats?
if I said less than 100, would that be a sufficient number?
1 second.
The feed cuts out for just a moment. You're essentially on hold. You can communicate with your crew for a moment if you need to.
And you
Well,
don't
I
have
was-
any hold music? Where are you? Come on.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I was trying to trick them aboard so we can feed them into the tube.
Oh,
Even
Wow,
Herrick will
Captain.
kind of look at the captain like, what the hell?
I mean, that's problem solving, but it's a little dark. Ram, how are you doing?
Not too good.
Yeah, I didn't think androids can sweat, and you're not, but I have to assume that this is what android sweating looks like. Okay, so to run down the things that we have, we've got Orions around us. We have our lieutenant connected to the ship with full control and access to everything in it, and we still need to find the object that we were tasked to find.
Yes, things are not going very well. Things are going horribly.
You know,
Captain.
Yes.
This is Captain Jakku from the Ryan Cartel. So, would you say you have like more than, I don't know, 20 Pyrithian bats?
Good lord, we have bats. What do you want with them?
Well,
Do they want the bats?
but I'm not, it's... How many do you think you have over there?
Why don't you come over here and count? I don't know. I don't have a number.
That's a long way. I don't want to send a whole team over. Just
even sniffing glue.
Just tell me how many bats you have.
Lieutenant Ram, can you see how many bats are currently on board?
Lieutenant Ram knows that there are 38 Pyrithian bats aboard this vessel that are currently alive,
There are 38.
out of a complement of 2,412.
Wait. We
Whoa.
have 2,000. Wait, what? How many?
What?
we have 2,000.
There are 38 bats
400
left
yeah.
alive.
Oh.
38 alive ones, I should say.
Okay. You know, strangely enough, we do have a number. We have 38 alive bats and then over 2,000 dead ones.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Orion's to the left of me. Pyrithian bats to the right. And here I am, stuck on the Mendez with you.
All right, so Lieutenant Ram, do you have access to the transporters? Do you think you could get a lock on all the bats and transport them all?
How many in total?
So here's the problem. If we get rid of all the bats, you're not going to be able to do whatever you're doing to keep yourself from whatever the hell's going on with you, because we really don't know.
I don't know either.
That solves one problem, but that makes one very large one.
Look,
Oh, yeah, alright. What do you want in return?
Can I put you on a brief hold?
Fine.
Thank you.
okay. Gonna give them the bats. I don't think they're gonna give us a person to feed the ship. I'm afraid. I don't know how to get him out of that chair, but we're not going to have anything else to give the ship other than a piece of us. And I don't even know how much of us it's really going to need in order to do whatever the hell it's doing.
Well, we're gonna have to make a choice here. What can we get from the Orions that we desperately need now, seeing as Ram is in this state? Would asking for one of their crewmates be something?
I really don't think that's going to work out too well. But I don't know the Orions very well, so I have no idea how much stock they put on the lives of their crewmates.
Are we willing to even ask that question? Let's say they do have a crewmate spare.
Has anyone tried feeding the codes that the Admiral transmitted on to the computer?
Captain, I think we should do the Admiral thing. Do you think maybe I could
anyone
just have
done
that
that?
over real fast? Do you mind,
Before we're
Captain?
on barter bat for Orion crew member meet detail?
Just real fast. You know what? I think I can get Ensign Ryak on it really fast.
Herrick's putting in for another transfer. You people wanted to blow up the Romulans. You nearly murdered the snoo, like, let's sniff each other's elbows planet people. And here we are like, well, how do we get an Orion over here so the computer can murder him down the, like, the pneumatic tube on the death ship? Like, Herrick's putting in for another
No
transfer.
idea is a bad idea. Only the execution of an idea can be bad. So it's good to
Lieutenant-
get everything out there.
Lieutenant Ram, you know what you need to get out of the chair. You literally spoke the words to your fellow crewmates. They probably just forgot. It's that you need proof of admiralty or a Section 31 badge.
We need proof of Admiralty or Section 31 badge.
Do they have proof of admiralty or a Section 31 badge?
Would the Admiral's communication code have her status in it?
It certainly wouldn't. There's no way to
So-
record that kind of transmission.
Great. So
Well,
let's ask them if they have either of the other two objects that we might
that
need,
bad
either an
barter?
admiral or a badge. It's
no
possible.
one's
they're
supposed to
scavengers.
know about that badge. Hey, do you
We
have
know
a
now.
badge from that secret organization that exists within Starfleet, by the way?
Do you,
Just
do you
asking.
have a Starfleet badge that's black? Because they're black. Did we see one on Rom? Did Rom have
Rom
a
had.
black
Screw it.
Rom
Ask
had.
him. Ask him.
badge? Ask him. Because we know Rom was part of it. So, Captain. So, yeah, Captain, I think we should probably ask him. We'll give them the bats, but ask them if they have a black Starfleet badge.
I doubt highly that they're going to have that.
It's
Oh,
worth
hell.
a shot, Captain. It's worth it.
Ram has control of the entire ship, right?
That's right.
And we left Rom's badge on him when Rom got stuck to the floor and smushed, right? Or whatever happened to him.
Yeah, you didn't see what happened to Rom.
Yeah, whatever happened to the superior version of Ram. All right. Herrick will just turn to Ram. Lieutenant,
Yes?
using the ship's internal sensors, attempt to ascertain whether or not any materials matching that of a Section 31 badge are currently on board.
Your scans of the Mendez do not show anything like that. Additionally, you know this, maybe your other crewmates don't, but literally at any point you could feed any one of them to the tube and you would be fine. It would be little more than a blink on your part.
There appears to be no materials.
So what do you say, Captain? Maybe they're willing to barter.
I'll patch back in the Orions.
Well, Captain Luke's dead.
You have the first part wrong now. Look, it doesn't matter. I've come to...
This is Captain Jock.
I understand. Repeating your name isn't going to help me remember you more.
From the Orion Cartel.
I get it. Look, I'm sorry. It's been a stressful day. But I believe I finally come to a decision as to what I would like for exchange of the bats. You wouldn't happen to
How
have
many
any,
slaves? We have,
that's not going to happen. No.
Ask them about the badge, Captain.
I understand. You wouldn't happen to have any black Starfleet badges there, would you?
Starfleet badges?
Mm-hmm. Or maybe any encryption software that might be very good at cracking into things?
Yeah, we got a whole box of Starfleet badges. They're in some cargo. Can I get someone down in cargo? Okay. Yeah, they're gonna go get it. What, you said?
No, just,
Sure you don't want one of the slaves? Because we have...
no, I'm positive
Flesh.
Do you just have discarded flesh on your ship?
Well, yeah, we have slaves if you want one.
No, I'm not interested.
I mean, Captain,
Some call me crazy. I call myself Captain Jakku.
if they have, well, all right. I was gonna say if they have slaves, maybe we can get the slaves and the badge and maybe save some people.
No, that's not how that works. If it's Orion women, it's gonna be a bad time for us.
Well, we
Yeah,
don't know
they got
that.
the box of badges right here. What, you said you wanted what?
What you want?
Just a black badge. Do you have a black badge in that box of badges?
I can see this sort of like.
This is like the Wes Anderson film of Orions.
And they have some. So they have some of the old badges that use.
It's like the Grand Budapest Hotel, but an Orion ship.
We got like a real
You can
shiny
rip it.
one. It looks real old.
Why don't you just send all of them down, and we'll send you all of the bats.
Yeah, alright. All of them?
Yes.
That's it? You just want them? Yeah, or we all don't know if we want to let all these badges go. They're pretty valuable, you know.
Look, you're getting bats. You can have whatever is left.
Okay. Yeah, okay, sure. Here's the coordinates. We'll send them over
Thank
to your
you.
ship.
Excellent. We'll send the bats over.
The bat to badge exchange is going smoothly, crew.
Look at that, a box of badges.
It is. It's a old box of just a crate of badges. It's about it's probably 100 badges or so inside of this box. And
Wow, these are TOS era.
there are no longer any live bats aboard the Mendes.
I would be in the box rifling around, like pulling them out. And,
Couldn't we
and
scan the
looking.
box?
Yeah, certainly.
There you go.
Oh, there's no way one of those badges is going to scan, but all right. I'm gonna try.
Yeah, sure.
I will scan the box.
Okay, Lieutenant Commander Belmont, you scan the box, and you see all of the badges come up on your tricorder as having been issued by Starfleet at one point or another. One or two of them are counterfeit, and you notice one that's not returning any information. You're seeing on your tricorder names, duties, like a dog tag list of everyone whose badge this belonged to, and it's a piece of history. There's 100 years worth of Starfleet history in this box that you're sure a museum would love to have, and maybe families would love to have. But one of these badges isn't returning anything.
Well, with the absence of information, I will definitely go straight for that one.
It is black in color and shows no insignia whatsoever on it.
I'd pull it out and say, Captain, and then hand it to him.
Thank God. And then I will present it to the ship's computer for identification.
Lieutenant Ram, you take a look at it, and a moment passes and there's nothing. Another moment, and then the pedestal's tube is now let off of the pedestal. It's no longer attached to this this pedestal. You see a black pedestal in front of you. Lieutenant Ram, you are no longer bound to the chair. You may take this pedestal if you so desire.
You may have.
Take it as in pick it up?
You can pick
Is
it
this
up.
the?
It's about
this
as
the
tall
thing
as
where-
you are, Ram, but it's you could carry it. It might take 2 of the humans, but
I guess Ram was plugged in, so he probably would have had a pretty good range of what was in the ship itself, right?
mhm.
So would he know what this thing is, or at least to some level know what this thing is?
No.
Oh, I guess I should say the importance of what this thing is.
It is the object of this mission. It is of utmost importance, but there's no telling what's inside of it.
It's a
Oh.
bat storage cylinder, Belmont. What don't you get?
Maybe it just poops out bats. Maybe there's more bats.
Could be anything in there, even bats.
I'm pretty curious.
Captain.
Yes,
bastard
we're
loose.
still on the line.
Rabbit.
Captain Longstone, we have the bats. Did you get everything?
Yes, yes, it was very
We
helpful.
really hated to, just leave them there like that. We've had them on the ship for like 100 years, so they're very important. Artifacts.
You want the rest of them back?
What?
Do you want the rest of them back? Are you trying to tell me that they're valuable to you or
Have more
something?
bats? What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about the badges.
Oh, what? You don't want the badges? We got the slaves. You want some slaves?
No!
You want women?
Do you want women? We got women. I think we're.
No, we're fine. What was your name again?
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
How does he know that word?
Well, it's translated. God knows what that word actually is, Joe.
I'm 90% sure this isn't a legitimate cartel member, and he's just wandered off with a ship and a skeleton crew.
The amount of like what is that, peacocking or whatever he was doing? 100%.
This is Captain Jaku.
Captain Jaku. Gotcha. All right, I won't ever forget that.
We're in cartel.
Yes, I know.
Oh, okay. It was a joke.
He can
What's a joke? Are you not actually a part of a cartel? Is your name not Jaku?
Herrick is quietly.
Captain, I think at this point,
Herrick is just shaking his head at the captain, just.
I think, as much fun as it is to play with our lives, Captain, I think it might be time for us to leave this ship.
I agree.
I think we should take this with us as well.
I love tube.
Oh, all right.
Should we take the badges too? I feel like it's not right just to
I'm
leave
holding
them here,
the
right?
badges. I've
Yeah,
got the
yeah.
box of badges.
All
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
They're all on his uniform.
They're- Guys, look at me! And then just start. I've got them linked together.
Hey, out of curiosity, were there any like pips in the box as well?
Probably, yeah, some loose pips in there. Just bits of
It'd be
metal
pretty-
from people's uniforms.
Be
Probably some
interesting
pips.
if there was like an admiral pip in there or something.
Oh my god, that would have been. Oh,
Nah, you don't
just
see
start
any.
putting pips all the way around.
Officer pips are pretty hard to come by anyway. There's probably only a couple officer pips in there.
Well, so Ram, you want us to take that item?
I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I do believe it is what we were sent here for.
Right.
All right, well, we have our coordinates to deliver that to, whatever it is. I'm assuming it's a bat-feeding pillar or something?
Your guess is as good as mine, Captain.
All right, Captain. I'll contact my guys and who's on transporter duty?
It's Salixon. I'm at the bridge
Salixon.
right now. Yeah. Hi, Lieutenant Commander Belmont. So the Orions are leaving?
Yeah, our captain, being the master negotiator that he is, has been able to save the day.
I thought I was gonna die. I thought I was gonna die. I'm sorry.
That's Starfleet for you. No, it's fine.
Okay, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm good. You should we lower shields and maybe beam you guys forward?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Good. Doing so now. You, all three of you, are aboard the bridge of the USS Lovelace. Since Alexson is leaving, you have in tow, Lieutenant Ram, a 5-foot tall, large black cylinder.
You said all three of us.
Sorry, all four of you. I meant
I was about to say.
all three of you and Lieutenant Ram.
Oh,
Lieutenant Ram, you have your cylinder with you on the bridge as well. And
it's his cylinder.
And Lieutenant Commander Belmont and Commander Herrick and Captain Lockstead, all three of you here feel inside of your brains.
Closer. I want it.
So I'm sure you guys heard that.
Yes, I did.
Oh, Ada wants it. I'm going to assume it's what you're holding.
We have direct orders from Starfleet to deliver that. However,
Could she hold on to it while we're traveling?
Want to hold it.
Does not seem pertinent.
We'll keep safe.
So we have no real information why there's a connection between her and this object. We don't even know what this object is. However, I mean...
Wait, what's going on? Is she talking to you?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. She
Is this how you guys feel when I'm on the computer?
Yes, every time.
yes.
Every time.
Oh, Ram gets offended when someone doesn't have a special brain conversation with him for once.
But, you know, you get used to it. Anyway, Ada wants the object. If she holds it... I mean... This might be...
Out of character, I'm going to say this. There's really nothing stopping her from making us give it to her.
100%. Yeah. And
at this point, I say let the goo girl hold Linus's blanket over there.
See,
and
I've spent time with her. Got more time than probably anyone else on the ship. And I have to feel that I've got some connection that she's, you know, I don't know if she's nuts. So, do I need to roll for that? Do I?
Roll for what? What do you...
How does Belmont feel about Ada's intentions?
No, I think it's probably pretty hard to discern the intentions of some eldritch being.
an unknown goo person.
I don't know. I just feel like she's a friend.
Yeah. She's never done anything really bad to you.
No, except for the first time.
No one forgets their first time.
Yeah.
In the meat room.
So yeah, Captain, I don't. We're heading in a direction anyway. I don't know if we could stop her if she really wanted it. She does seem to be asking. I'm not sure what to do, but
I don't see an issue. As long as it gets to its destination. I mean, if she just wants to keep it safe, then fine.
Right.
The episode where the crew just goes screw it.
I mean, maybe it's like space drugs. So, she's addicted.
Bats start flying out of the cargo bay.
She's just gonna. Oh, it's a bat producer, and she's just gonna hold it at her mouth and go. Oh.
It's a giant tube of lipstick. She just wants to feel special.
Yeah, well, she deserves it. Okay, so Ram's still holding
It's
it
worth it.
on the bridge right now.
Ram's still holding it.
Does Ram have a desire to stop holding it is a better question.
Oh, interesting.
Or is he
Ram-
just going to bear hug that thing?
100% should probably be doing some self-diagnostic stuff soon because you are sort of at your operating limit. It is difficult to move, even, Lieutenant Ram. You are.
I imagine Ram would be wobbling a little bit.
Are you?
You can
hugging
hear
it like-
you can hear the motors and actuators inside of Ram wheezing every movement that Ram makes, and his movement and facial expressions are becoming less human as time goes on.
You seem to be melting, Ram.
Even Herrick, who is normally unopposed to these sort of things, just sort of looks at Ram and does like a little, ooh.
Perhaps it is time I let this go and get some repairs done, or diagnostics or something.
Sure.
Just imagine as he's saying that, one of his pupils just blows out completely.
Well, if that's the case, then we'll need some other people to carry it down to Ada, if he's unable
Can
to.
we transport?
You could side-to-side transport it.
Oh, all right. I have no idea what's inside this thing.
Do you wanna-
However, site-to-site transport might give me an idea. Not that Belmont's going to look or anything.
Do you want to go down to the cargo bay too, Lieutenant Commander Belmont, just to see what's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to, yeah. I
right.
think I consider Ada a friend. So,
Well, tell the computer to site-to-site transport you.
computer. Site-to-site transport for myself and the object that...
Well,
Wow.
Affirmative.
Thanks, computer.
You're welcome.
Are we in the bay or are we
You are
outside
now
of the bay?
inside of the cargo bay. It is pitch black inside, and you can feel heat. So much heat. Your eyes are adjusting from the brightness of the cargo of the bridge, and you can see by the red running lights underneath this viscous membrane an entire wheezing, moving piece of flesh enveloped over every piece of wall and ceiling and floor. Your feet are squishing down into the floor, and you see this tube, this pedestal, slowly fall, and you really hear nothing. It's like it's hitting a pillow. And then, as your eyes begin to adjust more to the darkness, you can see a large, round appendage, like a prehensile tentacle, kind of emerge from this ground, and like a sock puppet aimed straight at you. The entire interior of this room begins to bioluminesce. And the tendril gets ever closer to you, appearing to observe you. It twists, and eventually you feel, for a brief moment, euphoria. From every fiber of your being, you are given the human limit of happiness. The appendage appears to thank you as it begins to roll the tube back and forth. And you can hear very slightly some ungodly noise coming from every single direction. It sounds like it's purring.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna head out, Ada. I hope you
This is
feel
cool.
better. Gonna take that as a positive, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna start sort of gingerly. I'm really sorry I'm stepping on you right now.
Squishing your way out of the cargo bay.
Yep.
Probably just want to put those shoes in the recycler.
If you need anything, just contact us. Keep going.
You look behind you and see that the tube is still being rolled around the floor, and the appendage is kind of batting at it a little bit.
And Belmont has definitely owned a cat and is like, wow, that's catnip, just mentally. Just keep walking.
She can't finish unless you're watching, Belmont.
Look, I can't. That's the worst.
Do you close the door behind you?
Yeah. I mean,
Sure.
I don't. This is her space. This is her room. I don't. She deserves privacy like everybody else. So.
All right, well, you close the door behind you, it shuts, and you're back in the corridor. You can site-to-site transport back to the bridge.
Yeah, no, fuck no. I'm gonna take my time. That was a whole experience. I'm gonna walk. I will let the bridge crew, you know.
Sure, yeah, okay.
Captain.
Yes, come in, Lieutenant Commander.
Well, everything, I suppose, went well. I'm gonna have to give you a whole report on it, and it's gonna be a bit weird. But if you don't mind, I kind of need a moment, so I'm just gonna take my time and walk. Everything's
Very
fine.
well. You've earned it. Enjoy your time, Lieutenant Commander.
Thank you, Captain.
Captain out.
Captain,
Yes, computer.
would you like to deliver your all-crew message?
Yes, I think I'm prepared.
Opening up a frequency, all hands.
Attention, crew of the USS Lovelace. This is your Captain Eugene Lockstead speaking. We have completed our mission and are now headed for the rendezvous point. I want to thank everyone for their bravery through the most terrifying experience of dealing with the Orion cartel, and trust that we have smooth voyage to our next destination. And also, just a side note, the next time we go to a summit, if there is any complaining whatsoever, I will have you reprimanded immediately. Thank you. That is all.
That was so good!
Yep. That was really good. The whole transition
Oh my
was wonderful.
god! Oh my god! I wasn't sure if you guys were gonna feed Orions to the ship for a minute.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of options. It kind of seemed like that's where you were.
I was ready to cut off a hand because Starfleet can do, medical can do a lot. I was prepared. I was just going to phaser it off and throw it in, but Ram never was like, yeah, well, throw a hand in there. I might be okay.
He wouldn't.
Good lord.
You're more human than us.
I feel
Lieutenant
terrible.
Ram, at any point could have obliterated all of you with like nothing more than a blink. It would have been a facial twitch, just a tick, and you would have all been fed to the tube. And Lieutenant Ram would have been better for it.
With that in mind, Herrick was prepared to let that phaser go without a care in the world.
Well, I'm proud. I'm proud that you didn't feed anyone to the tube.
Yeah, I'm very
tempting.
curious what's in the tube. I'm telling you, Belmont, first thing he's going to do is look at the logs, the composition, everything.
I purposely gave you ensigns too to bring along to the.
I know what they were for.
Oh, God.
I knew what they were for.
You had ensigns. You could have done it.
Yeah, you just want us to kill someone is what...
Well, I think the option's always there.
My intention to bring guards was definitely not, oh, yeah, we might need to feed somebody to the tubes while we're down there.
To the tubes. Oh, man.
There might be something dangerous down there. You never know.
Yeah. I did imagine that Ram, I don't know why, but when holding onto that tube, was holding it like, you know, like those anime pillows. You know?
Oh, yeah.
I just imagined him holding it like Linus from Peanuts.
Yeah. Yep. Just...
Lieutenant Ram, you got to be a little bit of a hero. You got to be a
Hey,
By
hero.
not killing anyone. He was a hero.
Yeah. By displaying basic morality, you're a hero.
Hey, you didn't detonate a whole hemisphere of a planet, so.
Yeah.
I didn't either. You know what? Yeah. I have been going through this. That is my fault. I have recognized it's my fault. I recognize my place in it, and regardless of how it all went down, I should recognize I am the one that hit the button. I am sorry for that outburst.
Regardless of how it all went down, hard cut to Belmont hitting the button. That's how it went down.
What went down is I accidentally hit the button. However, it was still me that did it.
Yeah, I caused a crater in a planet that's visible from space.
I did. And you know what? They call that. I found out they do call that the Belmont crater. And honestly,
The Belmont crater.
There's a monument there as
The
like a
Brocksheen
memorial.
Memorial Crater if you live there.
those on the moon are actually, they look down on it fondly.
They're
So
happier for it, okay?
they are happy. Those on the planet,
That won't be the last you see of them either. They're coming. They will 100% be back in later episodes too.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
because they're going to petition the Federation to execute Belmont.
now, if they try to kill me for destroying some buildings and land, that's just ridiculous.
Look, you did that shit, dude.
I did. I admit it. It's documented and everything.
You also destroyed their like economy, I think. Like you
No.
blew up an important facility.
All Lieutenant Ram did was feed a bat to a tube, and
Yeah. You potentially destroyed an ecosystem.
But that was technology they had been stealing.
And they had it clearly labeled.
They didn't have destroy the whole planet. But that's not what that said.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
To
you
be
want
fair,
something
it's
that's
partly
not
on
there. You want to blame somebody. And you know what? I've taken the blame, and I'm
to
okay
be fair,
for it.
I don't think anybody died in that incident. I don't,
Nobody
I don't
did.
Think.
Nope.
Yeah.
It was all
not
property
directly,
damage.
no.
It was just, the ramifications of
I don't even
detonating a
think
hemisphere.
indirectly anyone died.
Yeah, the planetary shift, the celestial tides don't work right anymore.
Economy.
Oh,
The infrastructure's
There's
destroyed.
a hole in the ozone
the
layer.
tides are based off of the moon, and
Crops won't
That's
grow
what the
anymore.
planet's a
you're
barren
looking for
wasteland.
problems. You're looking for when you should be excited about the solutions.
How
helped
many
the moon.
millions homeless?
And that atmosphere was already destroyed.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you remember,
it was
unbreathable.
Yeah, that's why it ignited so
No
well
one-
after
no
you
one-
detonated that
It
building.
didn't ignite. It didn't ignite.
I'm sure the Federation Commission, the Disaster Commission, will discern
The tribunal.
that. The military tribunal would discern that.
Well, if they kick Belmont out, he'll just have to accept it.
The lieutenant,
Yeah.
the Lieutenant Ram tribunal of whether or not I should feed my crew to the tube went off without a hitch.
Yeah.
I was going to say tribunal of bats.
Bat
Actually, crimes against bats.
Yeah, Ram, you have a
Yeah,
stellar
you-
track record with humans and humanoids, but your record with animals
Ram
is
hates animals.
He fucking hates. He
Orion
probably
guy
had
just like 10
no
bats in a
problem.
trench coat.
Ram's just like, anytime there's an animal, Ram wants to either fight it or kill it.
Well, no, wait. I thought there was an
Stupid
animal you were
inferior
excited.
being. Why should you be sentient?
Wasn't there something you did want to see? It was some sort
Venus
of. It
flytrap.
wasn't not
A
not
whale
the-
fight.
Venus
Oh.
fly traps. That's right.
yeah.
You do care about plant
Because
life.
then he could watch a plant eat an animal.
Sure.
Ram doesn't hate animals. It's just, just happened,
Whales specifically are assholes.
Well, no one ever means to hate anything.
You know,
I mean,
one day, Herrick, you're
2,000
gonna
of
do
them
something
already
really
dead before
bad.
we got there.
Like blow up an entire hemisphere.
Captain Lockstead, you've been pretty quiet, Fist.
I've just been listening to this.
I don't think Lockstead's committed any war crimes. Have you? I don't.
Yeah.
Over the course of the
he
show,
was thinking about it.
Yeah.
He was thinking about it a couple of times.
I don't think Lockstead's done
Yeah.
any war crimes.
Lockstead susses them out, though. He's like, okay, so, like, we could, Herrick, we could. And
No war
like,
crimes.
Lockstead
yet.
just wants Herrick to agree with him so he could be like, look, he agreed.
The Vulcan said it was okay.
One of these days, he's gonna run something by you, and you'll be like, you know what, sure. And then when shit hits the fan, it'll be like, well, I mean, he said it was okay.
You gotta make hard decisions sometimes. People die in space.
Oh,
People die when you destroy a planetary economy, too.
All right,
Oh
you
my
can't
God.
keep hitting the same joke.
oh my God.
Well, I can, just like you hit that hemisphere with an explosion.
Fine. I murdered them all and laughed about it.
Delightful.
That's why you're in
It
therapy
was
with that
so
goo girl in
good.
the basement.
Oh, you know what? She just helped me realize how much I want to do it again.
How much I love meat.
I am
That.
actively looking for planets to blow up. I have figured out how to use the warp core to do it without it looking like I did it on purpose. It's gonna happen.
How do you accidentally jettison the warp core?
Oh no!
Oh
I
no,
don't have
Lieutenant
to
Commander Belmont would certainly have incredible means of creating weapons of mass destruction from nothing. You're a brilliant engineer. It's thoroughly possible.
Oh yeah. I've got little things just ready to be hooked up at any moment.
Any
Did
single
you know
one of you
that you
is-
can beam warp core a material directly into anywhere you can do it.
Warp plasma.
Yeah.
I mean, we could technically beam an antimatter container anywhere we wanted to.
Yeah, but it's not something I usually say. Like, by the way, Captain, Will
Herrick's read
Strandos-
all of this, by the way. He goes through everyone's logs and journals. Just reading Belmont's manifesto.
he can. Wait a minute. This turns everybody inside out. I should talk to him about that.
They all laughed at me today. They won't be laughing very long.
I came up with another way.
Log 47. Gregory still lives.
God. Any single one of you is capable of incredible evil, and I have actually yet to see anybody commit truly heinous crimes. And for that, I am so proud of the crew of the USS Loveless. Thank you
I
all
think it's
so very, very much for continuing to uphold the values of Starfleet and the Federation at large. Let's go around and give everybody one last little shout out before we go tonight. We'll kick things off with Fist of the Walrus. Hi, Fist.
Hello. I played Eugene Lockstead, and I want to say this episode was extremely stressful. It was like the most stress I think I've ever had between Lieutenant Ram dying, the cartel at our doorstep, and then the possibility of other crewmates dying to help stop Lieutenant Ram from dying. But I'm glad that we that interaction with the cartel was priceless. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
That was
Captain
great.
Jakun was amazing.
That's great.
Did I get his name right though? His name was
No.
Jakun. No,
Jakku.
Jakku.
Yeah.
See, I still can't get it right.
He said it.
It's
He said it so many times.
I have a feeling he's like not actually a cartel member, but he just goes around trying to like make a name for himself. He's like very insecure. He's like, hey.
Are you actually a cartel member, or do you just tell people that?
I really enjoyed this episode, and yeah, you can catch me over Twitch, Twitter, Fist of the Walrus, and yeah, this was a really, really fun episode.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Next up is Lock the Raven.
Hi, I'm Lock the Raven. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. I play Commander Herrick, the most put-upon Vulcan in the history of Starfleet. And you can also catch me on Fridays for Fable Scraps' other show, Doomlore, a 40k story where I play the tech priest Ohm13. And you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Lock the Raven, spelled like it sounds.
I'm amazed that you haven't quit. Commander Herrick is still second in command here.
Well, like, legitimately, if I made a new character for Loveless, then there'd be 4 dipshits on that ship, and
That just means it would
it
be
wouldn't
better.
go well for anyone.
It would become. So
There's
honestly,
only room for one himbo captain.
no, as much as I enjoy Herrick, honestly, 4 bad
No, because then we
decisions,
would have killed the Romulans.
that's fine. You know, shit happens. They're awful.
You need
by
Herrick
the
because
way.
he's the straight man.
He is.
Well, we're
Come
all
on, but you could be like the doctor. Oh,
we're all happy that somebody is the sole voice of reason. Even if you did almost lose at checkers.
yeah. On
He doesn't
purpose,
even know
and
that was a
still
game
won.
that Belmont was actually like playing with him. He just thought like, okay,
Helping him
I'm
with
gonna
his
amuse you. Yeah, like when a kid brings you a project, they're like, look, this is what he's like. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know, it's funny when you ask what game. The first thing I thought of is what are the really difficult games, and all I could think is no, this will be better if it's the simplest fucking game that I could think
Yeah.
of.
That's
So I thought,
perfect.
checkers. That's
Oh,
checkers.
That's perfect.
It would have been. I would have also thought it would be extremely funny if you had done like Tiddlywinks or something like that.
Oh my god. Okay, now listen. You have to drop the ball. Then you have to.
Because you gave a Vulcan a pattern-based game.
Yeah.
Even
But Vulcan's like motor function, you would have killed. You would have. There's nothing. I don't
Yeah,
think there's anything.
But
I
you
could
brought
produce.
him like he was like, why would Belmont bring me a rudimentary child's game? Fine, whatever.
You would have after the first 2 moves, you would have been like, well, that's how you win, and that's all you would have done.
Well, that's why he abdicated the throne once you kinged him, because he assumed that's how it went, and then he left.
Well, thank you so much, Locke. Next up is Lieutenant Commander Belmont, Aaron Black.
Hi, my name is Aaron Black. I play Lieutenant Commander Belmont, and to quote Oppenheimer, I am become death, destroyer of worlds. I had a good time with this episode. This was fun and interesting and super fucking stressful. And I can't applaud Enovan enough, because in his situation would be like, so just like cut off a finger or something. I would have said that, and at no point did he say that. So I guess I appreciate the character you bring to your character. I'm a writer, author, and if you want to know more about that, you can find me over on Twitter under Aaron B. Writes. But yeah, had a blast today.
Awesome. Good. I'm glad. That was a stressful episode, and y'all made it out completely unscathed. Well, almost all of you. That brings us actually to Lieutenant Ram, Enovan, the only character to suffer extreme damage and also to appear more human than the humans.
Yeah, I feel like there's an issue that we haven't even considered yet, that
What's that?
we've got a bunch of Starfleet badges that most likely belong to dead Starfleet
Yeah.
members. How are we
No,
going
that's
to
why we kept
explain that to anyone that asks?
Well, straight up, we'll say we traded some bats for the to some.
Yeah.
We'll
Do you
mention
think they're gonna
Orion's.
believe us as the main
No.
issue?
We'll mention Orion's. They'll go, oh fuck. Oh yeah, okay. Immediately.
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
as soon as we say Orion, they'll be like, oh.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And that's
But
why he
you
didn't
made
take
out
the
one
take the
guy?
women, because the women would have tried to kill us anyway.
Yeah.
They would have, but
If we put them in the tube.
Oh God.
Just making some lady jam. Don't mind us.
Ram would have let that happen.
No, of course not. Ram, the extremely good boy. Ram could have killed anyone today. Literally anybody who was aboard the Mendez was on the menu and decided not to, even though it hurt Ram to do so.
Almost dead.
Almost died. Yeah, I was shocked. I was sure that you were gonna ask somebody to cut off a limb or something, a bat-sized limb.
I'm gonna be real.
Ram's gonna stick
I
to his
was
values.
like an inch away from asking if I could basically stun Ram unconscious to like shut him down before he died.
I think it's more the ship than Ram getting hurt, but Ram also got hurt because of his connection to the ship.
Yeah.
yeah, if you
That's what I was assuming.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, where can everybody find you, Enovan?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Enovan. That's ENEVUN. Same on Twitter and YouTube and TikTok.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Enovan, and thank you to the whole cast and crew of the USS Loveless. My name is Nicotine. I've been the DM for today. I do a lot of roleplay. I also am in our other show here at Fable Scraps on Fridays, Doomlore, a 40k story. Enovan and Lock the Raven are both in that crew as well. It's a lot of fun. If you like Warhammer 40k, I encourage you to come check it out. It's Dark Heresy version 2, second edition rather. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. If you like this show, if you like Star Trek, or if you just want to be a part of a really cool tabletop community, then hit that follow button here at Twitch. Make sure you follow us on YouTube for our VODs, and check out our podcasts, which are just updates of the show, on Spotify and Stitcher. Be sure to hit us up on social media, on Twitter at Fable Scraps, and join our Discord community where you can get all kinds of super cool insight into the show, going live notifications, etc. fablescraps.com/discord. Have a fantastic night, everyone. We'll see you next week for more Star Trek adventures. Loveless. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Farewell.